Well, hello there. I've decided that I'm going to unbox a LOQ, Lenovo LOQ, brand new 2024 LOQ, live, because normally I just do my reviews and do that, but we'll do kind of a first impressions review here, unbox it, do some tests, kind of, go through that kind of stuff, which is normally what I do in my reviews anyways. The initial unboxing and first experience is very experiential, like user level. What is it like to unbox and review this and use it and da-da-da-da. And then I get into the more curated part of the review afterwards. So it'd be cool to just do this live. I can always come back and record that stuff or steal it from my own stream. So let's get back here. Hopefully you guys can see. There's only a couple people in here, but that's fine. I don't have the biggest desk in the world. And as any good tech person would be, my desk is full of stuff. I don't have like a creator style setup where it's all pretty. I just have stuff everywhere. This is a review that I published last night. Another one that I'm working on, keyboard stuff. So yeah, let's go like that there. Hopefully you guys get a decent enough angle that you can actually see what I'm doing here. Got the chat up on the screen. Hey, Mr. Potato, how's it going? Bernsey, what up, man? What up, man? All right, so I guess we can just jump right into it, right? This is an LOQ. It's kind of like, I think it's basically I don't know, a evolution from the Lenovo IdeaPad Gaming, or whatever it's called, which I actually never reviewed one of those. I've used one, but I've never reviewed it. LOQ is kind of like a Legion. Actually, it's very similar to a Legion, but typically much more budget friendly, a lot more plastic. Typically they do come with 1600p screens on the 16-inch model. This is a 15-inch model, so this one here does not have that screen resolution. I'm just going to move that because that's going to irritate me. There we go. This one is a 15-inch, so it has a 1080p screen, which is fine. This thing was super cheap. I think it was well under 1,000 Canadian dollars. It was like $900 or something like that, maybe cheaper actually. But I'll just say roughly 900 Canadian dollars, which is, I don't know what that'd be in American, 650 US dollars. How'd that Graham video do? It's okay. Yeah, I saw your post. The LG stuff, the Graham, like obviously generally my gaming stuff does better, or like random, interesting things. But the Graham is pretty cool, and it's doing okay actually. Yeah. So people seem to enjoy it. There's actually very few reviews, almost none. I don't think there's any actually on that specific LG Graham, the 1600p. I don't think there's any. LOQs have poor battery backup. Impressive, affordable. Yeah, this is an AMD model, so this one should have really good battery, actually. I did an LOQ review last year. I don't remember doing Intel. I don't think I did. But the AMD ones have really good battery life. It's kind of like, almost like a Legion Slim, 5 Slim, but slightly more budget. But typically it's the screen where you're going with the 1080p screen. That's usually where a lot of the budget, I think, goes on these. So. The Lenovo shilling continues. Hell yeah. Impressive to see the affordable laptops popping up so frequently. Yeah, honestly, some people wonder why I do Lenovo stuff. Well, I do like their stuff. I mean, I use their stuff daily myself. But, I like Asus stuff and Dell and whatever. The reason that I do so much Lenovo stuff, partially they do send me stuff occasionally. I bought this. I would say about 9 out of 10 Lenovo stuff I buy. But they do send me stuff, which is fantastic. So you'll see those. But the other thing is that they're cheap, they cost less money, and I buy this stuff, so it doesn't break my bank as quickly. And Lenovo warranties are goated. So like I can take this product when I'm done with it, which I will do, and I will sell it to somebody locally at a loss. They'll get a cheap laptop, and the warranty just transfers to them. They just get the warranty. There's none of that shenanigans with like Asus and those guys who it's like, when you buy the item, the warranty's with you, and you can't transfer it, and like, get out of here. That's super consumer unfriendly, and it makes me actually not buy their stuff because it's very difficult to transfer a warranty to somebody. I have to be very careful with buying an Asus laptop and then giving it to somebody, selling it to somebody, because they may not be able to redeem that warranty. Same with Razer, so that's a big issue. With Lenovo, I don't have to worry about that. It's just, yeah, they just get it. Anytime I sell someone a Lenovo product that's under warranty, they just have the warranty. They don't even need the receipt. It's just on the product. So that's partially why. Gamers Generation, hey man. It's 1 a.m. in India. Hell yeah, webcache. Yeah, the LOQ. Yeah, it's worth it. Yeah, you were asking about this, I think. The specific model. Which, by the way, I waited so long for this. It wasn't even a Lenovo thing. They shipped this out like the day that I ordered it. I ordered it like 1 in the morning. Then it got stuck in UPS for like legitimately a week and a half, just sitting there. I got an LOQ desktop, which I ordered before that. I ordered a week later. I got it before this, which is crazy. The Ally announcement. Oh yeah, you can pop back in and let us know what happens with that Gamers Generation. Yeah. In my region, Lenovo's banned from government. Really? That's weird. Okay, so here's the laptop. Can you guys see that okay? Let me just bring that stream over slightly. Yeah, you can see that. So just get it on camera. So I'm going to bring on my monitor light. There you go. So these are more premium than you might think for the price. It actually, like the top here, you know, you get a metal lid here, right? Metal-like lid here. It's like I think it's like a hybrid material. It's not like the Legions where you get that thick whatever. You do get some plastic in here. That's pretty standard. They've slimmed this down this year. Wow, this is a big improvement from last year. It's very much more aesthetic than last year. You get a plastic bottom here. The plastic on the bottoms of these is very premium though. It's like a hard, very hard, rugged plastic. It's a little bit malleable, but it is very rugged. If you've ever also used a ThinkBook, the larger ThinkBooks, they use the same plastic, and it is not cheap. This is actually better plastic than what's on the Lenovo Legion Slim, in my opinion. Honeycomb intake there, another honeycomb intake there, or exhaust or something. I wonder what they're doing here. Speakers down firing there, rubber feet, pretty standard stuff there. Nothing out of the ordinary. Right side on the laptop, you get USB-C. You're not going to get USB 4 on this, unfortunately. Did they get hot water maybe a decade ago? Interesting. Yeah, the exhaust in this is very nice, actually. I'll get to the exhaust and kind of say why I like it in a sec. Camera kill switch there. Headphone, see that? Headphone microphone combo jack. USB-A on that side. Again, no USB 4 on this laptop, but that's fine. Nothing on the left side, interesting. It's just it's a naked left side. That's very rare, actually. And then you get the standard Legion style stuff on the back. So power in, proprietary Lenovo charger in. Always, that's a USB-A, USB-A, Ethernet, HDMI. Before, these had a much thicker butt, I'll call it. The IdeaPad Gaming and the LOQ last year had a thicker butt on it. It was like kind of gaudy. They've actually slimmed this down quite a bit. It's a big improvement actually this year. It really does actually look like the Legion Slim, if anything, not even the Pro. It's actually slimmer than the Legion Pro series. I like this a lot actually this year. This looks like a Legion really, but a little bit more premium than even the Pro in my opinion. Yeah, but the booty, laptop booty. I do like laptop booty because I like the I/O in the back, but I don't like it when it's a big plastic thing. It is plasticky, but there's definitely a lot of plastic on this. Yeah, I agree. More finny. Yeah, it definitely looks better this year. It was fine last year. The IdeaPad Gaming was like, it was all right. Then the LOQ, when they introduced it last year, was an improvement. And then this is a big improvement. So that's that there. Paper stuff. Inside, you get the chin. The LOQs do have a little bit more chin than the Legions, just slightly more. Because it's not 16:9. It's, because it's 16:9, not 16:10. So you go basically from 1200p down to 1080p, so you lose a little bit there. So that's basically what that is there. It's just a widescreen. So some people like that for like media consumption. Like if you watch YouTube videos or movies or Netflix, it actually fills that perfectly. Whereas if you have a 16:10, you get a little bit of barring on the top and bottom. I prefer 16:10 because I work with documents, but it doesn't really matter. Hey, the 14700 HX and the LOQ is being cheaper. How much would you lose in performance if you choose this one? This will not perform worse than a 14700X. The 14700HX will have better Cinebench scores. So synthetic benchmarks, the Intel will outperform. However, the Intel will perform worse on battery life. It will perform worse in CPU tasks on battery, much worse. It will dramatically be worse than AMD. It will also be significantly more likely to run into thermal throttling. So in real world gaming performance, in a thinner gaming laptop like this, AMD should perform better actually. Assuming you're going with the 8845H HS. If you go with the 86, for example, that's going to be below. But 14700HX would be around the performance of a Ryzen 7, basically. But in real world performance, I would take the AMD. Unless you're plugged in all the time, then it won't matter. Truth of the story, yeah. Yeah, you will go. So it looks like it has that. I doubt that this actually has a fingerprint reader, but that looks like the fingerprint reader on the Legion 7i, which is like the only laptop that has it, and the Legion 9i. Best mid-range for now. I mean, this would be low range, but it's like lower upper range. So this would be on the table. If you want higher resolution screen though, 1600p screen, probably the Legion Slim, one of the Legion Slims, because they have better screens. They will have a better screen than this. The inside of the laptop is quite nice. It's some light there. This is a plastic, obviously, keyboard deck, but it's very firm. Nice smooth texture. Not a glass trackpad, but again, smooth. Black keycaps this year. I think they were silver last year. Pretty much all of the Lenovo's are wearing black keycaps this year. Personally, I don't like the black keycaps as much, specifically because they show fingerprints, but they do look really nice. And they obviously feel fantastic. It's basically a Legion keyboard, so that's really nice there. Intel CPU seems undesirable to me. Intel is fine if you're going to be, like, if you're just plugged in like, all the time. You know, you can get a lot of raw power, or if you have behemoth cooling, but generally, you guys will see that I typically, personally, I use AMD because battery life is part of it. That's not the biggest thing for me because I actually am plugged in most of the time. It's just like Bernsey said, heat. Heat means throttle. Throttle means less performance, means micro stutter. You're less likely to get micro stutter on AMD because they're just tuned better. It's just the way they are. Now this year specifically, you're going to say, what's the difference between the 7000 series AMD and the 8000 series? Honestly, not much. It's technically the same CPU. They add like the AI stuff. But what it really is this year they're better tuned. So those weird quirks that we had with 7000 series AMD, like the weird sleep thing. I mean, you still get Windows sleep issues, but it used to be like a weird Windows sleep thing where the fans would go when it was sleeping. And there was some other weird stuff with the AMD. And basically they just put it back in the oven, let it cook, brought it back out. So AMD, iGPU is better on AMD. It is better, yeah. Intel has come a very long way, but AMD is better, especially on low power. Intel, you need to really feed tons of watts into those Intel Core Ultra to make it work. Firos Lamb says, I want to do a bit of video editing and, but have cache crunch mainly. Yeah, don't we all? And rendering, blah, 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 blah. Told me, no. 14700HX will not outperform a Ryzen CPU. You're talking seconds. Like on a 10-minute render, you're talking a few seconds maybe from Intel to AMD. AMD, the 14700HX will have more raw power than an 8845HX in very controlled environments. But in reality, it won't. They'll be basically the same, is what I'd say. So usually I actually tell people go what's cheaper. If they're the same price, get AMD. If the Intel's cheaper, just get Intel. Then it doesn't really matter. Like it's just going to come down to that.
Set up your device using a screen reader. Turn on narrator by pressing Windows plus Control plus Enter. For more
Intel, I'm a much bigger fan of the new Core Ultra stuff for Intel. If you can get Core Ultra stuff, that's a whole different question because Core Ultra has really good battery life. It's addressed the AMD Intel battery life issues. It's addressed a lot of the heat issues. It has a way better iGPU than it used to. So the Intel Core stuff and every test that I've done so far, I've done I think 5 of them this year, maybe 6. They are way better than 13th gen and 14th gen stuff, like head and shoulders above. Handycam stream. Actually, I'm using. Is it? Yeah, I don't know why it puts it in such low quality. I'm actually streaming from my like 4K iPhone, which I use for my videos, and it was like you must do 720p. I don't know. Stupid. Probably have to pay for it or something. Hand was so still. I thought that. Oh, I'm like a surgeon. Yeah, so any other stuff while we wait for this to set up? Yeah, I would not get a 14700HX on an LOQ. They do have good cooling, but you would really want to get into like a Pro 5 where you're going to get much better cooling. Like even on that Legion 7i Slim that I reviewed, the premium one, that had a 14900HX. I have this video coming, by the way. I'm comparing a bunch of Legions. I just haven't edited it. So anyways, I compared the i9 14900HX and the Legion 7 Slim laptop to the 5 Pro, and that was only a i7 in the 5 Pro, 14680 or something like that, and the i7 was easily matching the i9 just because of the thicker chassis, right? So I would definitely recommend with a thinner chassis, not as much advanced cooling, no vapor chamber, I would, if the prices are the same, I would recommend AMD, realistically. Any update on the Legion 7 Slim AMD? No. So my question about the AMD models for this year, we noticed that there's no like premium Legions with AMD. There's two reasons why. One, these are all refreshes from last year. They took the 7845 HS or U, whatever, and just made it better, right? Which is fine. It's a fantastic CPU. There's really no need to do anything with it. But AMD is coming out with, in the late summer, they'll probably announce it soon, very soon, brand new CPUs for laptops. And they're going to be significantly more powerful. I think they said 10 to 20% uplift. If that's true or not, who knows? And a huge jump in iGPU performance, rivaling, but probably, they say an RTX 3050, which is crazy. I doubt it. It's probably going to be an RTX 2050. But that's like doubling the speed of what like an ROG Ally Legion Go can do right now. So I think personally that Lenovo is going to wait on the AMD stuff for the end of summer. So we're probably going to be way off until we see the AMD versions of some of those premium Legions. But if they do that, I think it's worth it. If you can do some comparison videos with this in the 14700, do I have a 14700 HX? I'm not even sure what I have right now. I have a 13900, which will perform the same, by the way. Basically, it's the same, almost the same CPU as a 14700. I have, what do I have? I can't even remember. I have so many laptops right now. It's crazy. Oh, I do have, no, I have a 14500 HX ThinkBook. I can compare that. It's actually, I just got it yesterday. 14500 HX is a really good CPU. I can probably do a comparison of that. Would you recommend LOQ for a university student, or should I get a ThinkPad? No, If you don't mind the weight of a gaming laptop, Hans, I would probably recommend a gaming laptop because you just get more bang for your buck. ThinkPads are fantastic. I use a ThinkPad. I have a 4090 ThinkPad somewhere in this room. Here. This is my ThinkPad that is way too much laptop. It has an RTX 4090 in it, right? But it also costs $6,000. I didn't pay $6,000, but with a ThinkPad, you can get crazy prices, but often you're waiting for sales. So I actually, if you're okay with the weight, gaming laptops can be a really good purchase for students, especially if you're in anything like engineering or anything like that. I teach university and I do tech type stuff in my field, like more geography, tech, remote sensing, that kind of stuff. And gaming laptops are like goated. Answer a couple more questions. How much did I pay for the ThinkPad? I paid 3,000 Canadian dollars for that ThinkPad, which is actually a steal. It's about 2,200 American, 2,300 American, and it's like $5,000 to $6,000 if you buy it from Lenovo. It's got an OLED screen and everything. So this is actually an A&W coffee cup, but inside is homemade coffee. I reuse my reusable cups. Isn't that crazy? Aren't I just a granola fanatic? Okay, so let's look at the laptop here. Can you guys see that? Okay, it's more important if you guys see it than if I see it. It has an IPS screen, so I can see it regardless. Let's get you guys in there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's bring it this way. That looks good, I think. Let's bring that out. Pretty centered. Bring it back a bit. This is like ghettostreams.com. Yeah, honestly, like, cause I like drinking these cups because also if you spill it, you have like a few seconds of salvage time. Whereas if I spill a cup, it's like game over. Everything is broken. Yeah, so the screen here, let's have a quick look at the screen here. We'll open up the laptop in a sec. I film my stuff in reverse, so I actually get the laptop, turn it on, make sure it works, then I open it. But when I record my videos, it looks like I open them and then open the laptop. But I always open them to make sure they work, so I know it's not a lemon. So 1080p screen, fine. You do get a very high refresh rate, 144 hertz refresh rate, very good. Oh, you can do dynamic. I like that. 60 or 120 or 72 or 144. That's a really nice refresh rate because that'll give you a balance between battery life, 72 hertz, and feeling smooth. You guys won't see it. You only see 60 hertz, but making tech friendly indie. Yeah, this is a very budget laptop. The fact that this is brand new, sub 1,000 Canadian dollars. It's like 900 Canadian dollars for me. That's crazy. Make sure the screen is bright. So the screen is pretty bright. I think it comes around 300 to 350 nits. It's not crazy bright. It doesn't have crazy massive color space or anything like that, but it has actually pretty good colors. Lenovo typically calibrates their screens. So even the ones that are not their like super premium laptops and don't have crazy good creator color space, they do have good colors. That's just typically how they do it. So you know at least you're getting good color calibration, even if it doesn't have the good color space. Oh, Wi-Fi, sorry, I can't see what I'm doing here. Log into Wi-Fi real quick here. Okay, whatever, good enough. I don't even know if that was the right password. There we go. I usually use wired. Okay. Cool. Oh, thanks, Anders. SEC27. I have no idea what currency that is. Is that Indonesian? Let's Google it. What is SEC? Swedish. Kroner. Ooh. Gotta love them Swedes. Is that what it's called? For some reason I thought they had a different name for the currency. Now are you guys going to be like on the euro soon? Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. I don't know. Yeah, India has like wildly variable Lenovo prices. But Lenovo's pretty, from what I've seen, because I post Lenovo links in my video descriptions, like affiliate links, through like a third-party thing, Best Buy, to Lenovo in India, and the Lenovo prices are actually pretty good, considering that some of the other brands are crazy. From like some of the people on Discord say, you know, some of these other brands are completely unaffordable in India. So it's nice that they actually have, and they have like full distribution websites. Anders, loved my Yoga 9i Pro. Oh, you bought one? Yeah, man. The Yoga 9i, that's so nice. I almost kept it. I was like, really wanted to keep that laptop, but I always keep stuff rolling. It's such a nice laptop. Brinzy. Oh, Brinzy had a scare saying... Oh, yeah, so I sold something to Brinzy. I sell a lot of stuff when I'm done with it on my Discord. Unfortunately, it has to be North America, so if you guys ever want something. And I sold him a really awesome imported Shaoxin IdeaPad 5 laptop that's another one I was going to just use. And I was like, maybe I'll just list it. And he wanted it. I was like, damn it. I'm trying to get him away from Mac. So here's the screen. You can see it's not going to show up well on camera, but there's no IPS bleed here, right? Very nice screens, despite the fact that it's only 1080p. But it's, you know, this is a gaming laptop. So a lot of the times you're fine with 1080p, right? You're not going to be looking for super high resolution and stuff. Anders says 64. I didn't know they had 64 gigabytes on the Yoga 9i. Not in Canada. Unfortunately, it has such a nice screen though. So this has really good blacks. That has actually pretty good color space. This red you can see on camera is red. Color space is like, picture like a triangle of color, right? So if you have a low color space, what it does is it crushes that color down. So you're mixing out on the most bold color. So pure reds will often come off as like an orange or a pink when you have poor color space, which you may not care in gaming, but I think you will, because you'll start to play games like, say you're playing Horizon Forbidden West, which is really beautiful, beautiful game. Those reds will look orange. And you'll be like, what the hell? This game doesn't look that great. Whereas if you have good color space, even just for gaming, it's much more enjoyable. So I recommend at least a reasonable screen. See, it's not fully red. It's a little bit orange because it's a 72% sRGB, which is not bad, to be honest. And usually you notice it in the reds. That looks good there. I don't want to do too much of these videos because I'll get like copyright flagged. This is where, you know, the greens all look, it's at a really low resolution. The greens look good here. Fortunately, I'm streaming, I think 720p. I need to figure out why YouTube is like not allowing me. Maybe because I've streamed so few times. It's like I'm not a premium streamer. So you can see here, like motion handling is very good. Green's nice and vibrant. Purple's very vibrant. It's actually a really nice screen. And I'm on an angle, right? Like I'm looking on an angle. And it looks good. Yeah, Burnsy. So like if you watch my Steam Deck IPS versus my Steam Deck OLED, I don't remember what video I did it in. Maybe, I don't even know what video I did that in. One of the reviews. The OLED crushes the original Steam Deck, not because it's an OLED only, but because of the color space, which is why an ROG Ally and Lenovo Legion Go look better than a Steam Deck screen, the original Steam Deck screen, because of the color space. So YouTube app is correct. Yeah, you know what? I think at some point I'm going to have to do something with the app. I might have to stream with OBS. I like avoid it. Look at how nice that screen is though. This is a very budget laptop, right? So that's pretty good. Let's do an audio test. I'm going to use this one here that I do all the time. If you watch my videos, 12 a.m. I cut to your artist name is Sarah Chau, and it has a lot of bass. That's why I use it. Oh, I'm not signed in, so I have to. We'll give them some ad revenue. It's not your fault. Meant for the chat. Yeah. Oh, the chat. Yeah. The chat. It's YouTube. It's so slow. Neo Tokyo 98. Lenovo in India is the cheapest in terms of gaming laptops. Also the best. They have this at almost 1,000. You know, honestly, in India, $1,040 for this laptop with Intel 14 Gen is actually a pretty good price. And remember, Lenovo has just always be aware to have coupons and stuff too. You can always get some. This has also the specs. Yeah. Let's do the specs. Let's jump back up before we do the audio test. I was waiting for more people to get in, and then there's a lot of people in here. So the specs on this one, this is not like a cheap low-end laptop. This has the Ryzen 7 8845HS, which is currently the best GPU on the market. Don't kill me. It is. It's basically the 7845HS from last year, but they tuned it very well. So the battery life is going to be insane on this laptop. Truly, it's going to be insane. We're also going to get no weird like sleep issues and things like that. So that's good. And you get the 780M graphics, so you can just like straight up game on iGPU. It has 16 gigabytes of RAM, 5600 megahertz. It's not soldered, so I can and will upgrade it later in the video, in the stream. SK Hynix SSD, Wi-Fi 6, MediaTek, unfortunately, but whatever. And then a 4060, which is good. Isn't Intel 14700 the best? No, not really. 14700 will match an 8845HS, basically, in real world. In Cinebench, Intel always wins. So if you're doing Cinebench tests, it will always perform better. In gaming, it will not perform better. It will perform the same. So I consider them equal, but the issue with Intel is worse battery life and temperature issues. So I actually recommend the 14500 i5. I just bought a ThinkBook 16P, which is basically a Legion, if you watch my review. And I intentionally went from the 14700 down to the 14500 because it's going to lower my temperatures in game. I'm going to get the same performance in games as the 14700, and it's going to allow my 4060 to get warmer, meaning more frames. I do recommend looking at if you want Intel, recommend the 14500. Just have a look at it and see the price. That being said, the 14700HX is still a fantastic CPU. I'm not saying it's bad. It really comes down to things like battery life, right? AMD is going to have way better battery, as Making Tech Friendly India says. Apart from gaming, they're going to be basically the same. If you're doing pure video rendering tasks, Intel is better. It's faster, for sure. But it really comes down to what you're doing with it. If you're doing engineering and that kind of stuff, a lot of those programs don't utilize efficiency cores, right? So you have to be aware of that. Rendering tasks like Cinebench will use all the cores, performance cores and efficiency cores. Some software does not. Some does, some doesn't. If it doesn't use the efficiency cores, then your score is going to go way down and AMD will win. I would consider them equal, realistically. If battery life matters a lot to you, go for AMD. If you don't really care about battery life, then it really doesn't matter. I would get whichever you're more comfortable with. Intel has a higher resale value, I'll tell you that much. It's harder to sell AMD laptops. I find it much harder to sell AMD laptops. If they have graphics. If they don't have graphics, AMD is easier to sell, which is funny. Basically in real life performance, Neo Tokyo, yes. Basically in real life performance, they are the same. Intel is a little bit more performant in rendering tasks. AMD has better battery life. That's really what it's going to come down to. In a thick chassis like this. If you're in a thin chassis, very thin, do not get Intel Core, Intel 14th Gen. Get Intel Core Ultra. Intel Core Ultra is better for like thin laptops. I have one in my house here, but I'll never be able to find it in the stream. So that's that there. Performance looks good. We'll open it up. Everything's good. Let's do the audio test, and then we're going to shut the laptop down and look inside. I just want to see how the speakers are real quick here. So if you have headphones, you might want to watch them because this is going to be like live. I can't cut the audio and lower it midstream. I have no idea how to do that. So I'll turn it to 50. I'll hit play. Okay, watch your headphones, guys. Bring the mic down. interesting. I wonder if it comes with Realtek. So the speakers actually sound really good. Much better than last year. Realtek does not have Realtek, unfortunately. So the speakers sound better than last year by far. They're way better tuned and there's more bass. However, they're quieter, which is weird. If you get this laptop, I'd recommend getting like Realtek, or you can just get like FX Sound. FX Sound, you can download it, and basically what you can do is you can take all of the like the equalizer and just bring up the volume, because these speakers will be able to get louder. They actually sound pretty good, much better than last year. These speakers kind of sucked last year, to be honest. They were very tinny and hollow sounding. They've definitely tuned the speakers better and improved them, but they're a little quiet. So, like, I mean, they're loud enough. If you're listening to music in front of you, it's still going to fill your head. But if you're in like, I don't know, your kitchen or something, you might find it a little quiet. If you wait, you will always have to keep waiting. Yeah. There's always that fine line of like, do I wait for next gen or do I get this gen? This gen will start to lower in price. Next gen, you're always going to pay more, and there's availability. We're at a point right now where I think mid-year and Black Friday this year, I think we're going to get crazy sales from companies, because we're going to be moving into 5000 series Nvidia, and maybe if AMD does something with their life, AMD GPUs, maybe, who knows? At which point these SKUs will plummet in price. But then if you wait too long, then they'll go out of stock, and then you'll be stuck with the 5000 series, which I'm sure will be great, but it'll be more expensive. Legion 5 Pro speakers are very bad. They're not great, yeah. I mean, I've never used a Legion laptop. I'm hoping to get one. Are they bad? They're not bad. Oh, they're more than serviceable. The Legion speakers are more than serviceable. The problem is I'm biased, right? So I mess with all kinds of stuff. So I would consider the Legion 5 speakers passable. They're okay. They're fine for gaming. For music, they're all right, I guess. You can tune them with FX Sound or Realtek, which does make them better. But they're not going to be like... The Legion 7 Pro has really good speakers. So if you compare the 5 to the 7, one of the biggest differences between the two laptops is actually the speakers. Otherwise, they're very similar. The 7 Pro has better offerings, like you can get all the way up to 4090, and you can get vapor chambers in that. But like, if you were to compare 4070 to 4070, Legion Pro 5 versus 7, for example, I don't even know if they do that, but if you did, they would be very similar other than speakers and a little bit more plastic on the 5. Is the HP Victus RTX 2050 good? It's pretty good. Yeah, I have a review of it, actually. It can be had for very cheap. If you're looking for a cheap gaming laptop, the 2050 is the same as a 3050, just nerfed a little bit. And if you get the AMD model of that Victus, you can get a 7735HS processor, which is basically an AMD 6800H, which is a great processor. You'll get good battery life and good performance. It's relatively upgradable, and the price is fair on that Victus. That Victus is definitely a win from HP. Some HP stuff is really overpriced. That Victus is good price. Man, I'm probably missing so many chats here. I think I am chatting too much. No, man. Making Tech India, keep it up. You're also answering questions. Hey, you got those emojis, eh? Ah, hell yeah. Sweet screwdriver. Yeah, that like $100 screwdriver. You know what? The LTT screwdriver is nice. I was ripping on you guys last night for the backpack. The backpack's pricey. Lenovo makes really nice backpacks, but the screwdriver is hella nice. When you buy the laptop, always putting the white paper on. Yeah, man. Eventually the paper ritual does fade away. I do try to keep this as long as I can, because I don't like fingerprints. They drive me nuts. So if I have a black keyboard, I always try to keep that. But like, eventually it gets gross and I lose it. So i5 13450H is a really good processor. i5s are like a sweet spot. I kind of recommend buying i5s over i9s in many cases because they're so much cheaper. And often in real world performance, you're not losing really much. Do LOQ... Prathmish is actually a question of someone else about motherboards. I've never heard any issues with Lenovo motherboards other than the Z13 ThinkPad, which had a motherboard issue, but that was like a prototypical first generation product, and they don't think they had the heat down very well, and my motherboard broke. They just gave me money back, but the second gen has actually addressed that. So backpack is pricey. I feel attacked. Yeah, did you buy it? It's a nice backpack. It's just, I will never rip on someone for buying things that they want. I don't believe that is mentally fair thing to do because everyone values things differently. I buy all kinds of dumb shit all the time, and I buy all kinds of very good price stuff. A backpack is a backpack. At least it has function, right? Like you're not dumping $1,000 into RGB, which is also fine if you want to do that. That's your thing. If it makes you happy, and you can afford it, then do it. That is the millennial way, right? If you can afford it and it makes you happy, does it bring you joy, then do it. Ally X is expected to have 50% battery life. What are they doing, Paul Jones? Is it the same CPU? You know what? I bet they're using the 8845U processor, the lower battery, the lower tier of this that's going to be more battery efficient because it does dramatically improve battery life. I bet they're going to use that processor. Yeah, Burnsy. Burnsy is like as bad as me, if not worse, for spending. So this actually looks really nice inside. This is a nice thick plastic, as I mentioned, more premium than the 5 Slim. Isn't that crazy? It's a different type of plastic. This is the same plastic they put on their ThinkBooks, and it's a very industrial plastic. Yeah, Strix Point is, if they put Strix Point in the Ally, it's going to be a behemoth, but we'll see. Battery life is going to be crazy too, hopefully. Thermal pad, that's a weirdly skinny thermal pad. It's weird. I mean, it does the job, right? Whatever. Just weird. A lot of structure in here. This is a nice looking bottom for plastic. It's got weight to it. It's nice and sturdy. Burns, you get membership. Yeah, man. Spend. Always spend. Okay, so let's see if you guys can see what's inside here. I got to bring that down. I can see it on an angle. I've never looked at an inside of a laptop from an angle. How's that? Get this keyboard out of here, bruh. Why is there so much keyboard in this shot? How is it such a wide angle? I'm not even on wide angle. Okay. So this looks pretty good inside. The battery is not huge. This is where you're going to see separation between the higher end and lower end. I actually don't know where to get my membership, Brinzy. I'm sorry. I think it says join besides subscribed. But it costs money, by the way. You don't have to do it, man. Don't feel pressured to do it at all. You get emojis. I think I put it like $1 Canadian or like $2 or whatever YouTube is. I don't know, the lowest one. It's just for people can have emojis and feel cool. Prathmesh, please, guy, the LOQ 14. It's not out yet. I've never used it. I doubt it, though. I haven't heard anything about LOQs having motherboard issues overall. Vinu Kala, 2.2K for Legion 7 with RTX 4070, 2.2K US dollars. And also, what market are you in? If you're in India, that's probably fair. If you're in the US, that's too much money. Yeah, so let's check the battery. Where's the battery size? 60 watt hours, not huge battery. However, it's AMD 8845HS. I expect this to have really good battery life, despite being small. Probably 6 hours of use, like real world use, despite being smaller. So many questions. Which one should I buy? Legion 7 Pro, Ryzen 9, or Zephyrus G14? Oh man, you're talking to the wrong guy, man. Don't buy this. Don't buy the Zephyrus. I have one, just to prove my street cred. Hold on. People may think that I speak out of my ass, and I do speak out of my ass all the time. But when it comes to tech, I do not speak out of my ass. This is a G14, 2024. Don't buy it because it's too expensive. Goodbye. Now, ask me about the G14 in 6 months, and I'll probably change my tune and say you should absolutely buy a G14. Asus has horrible launch prices. They are way overpriced, but they drop their prices. They just take a really long time, usually almost a year, like 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. If you come back in probably Black Friday, I think the G14 will be worth it. And yes, Burnsy, G14 in one hand is me. The Legion 7 is much larger, though. I will give you that much. The Legion 7 Pro is significantly heavier and larger, but the performance is like 2 times what you're going to get out of a G14, and it's going to cost you less money. The 2022 G14 and the 2023 G14 are awesome. I have 2 reviews, one of each of those coming. So I'm going to do the G14 2024 behind me, then the 2023, then the 2022. I've already recorded them. I'm doing a retrospective, but I'm waiting to publish my 2024 one because I need to be unbiased. I'm always biased, but okay, that's the battery. That's a MediaTek chip. It's fine. Wi-Fi 6. You could swap it. I don't know if you could do Intel Wi-Fi. I don't know. I'm going to disconnect the battery here. One NVMe over here. It's a 2242, SK Hynix, but it does fit a full-size one. I'll do a, do I have an NVMe around here somewhere? Sure, this one's in a thing, but I'll just show you guys. So that can go in there and that'll be a full size, right? You just move that screw to there, no problems. Speakers are fine, looks like Legion speakers. Actually, they sound better this year. I don't know what they did. They think they just tuned them. This side, again, another NVMe, right? Pop that in there. Once the battery is disconnected, pop that in there. Make sure you disconnect the battery, just as a safety. You can swap that down to a 2242, and there's no chips under there, so you can take double-sided NVMe's. One thing reviewers don't talk about, which makes reviewers somewhat nebulous at the times, is the value base. Yeah, I'm all about value because I buy this stuff. Most of it, I buy it. Lenovo sent me the first gaming laptop I've ever had as a review unit a couple months ago, and then Gigabyte sent me one, which is sick. But I buy this stuff, and I am not a wealthy man. I am not a wealthy man. If you guys are on my Discord, you know. I'm a student, and I teach university, and I'm also broke. So I really do appreciate the value of stuff. I have nothing. I mean, I have a $6,000 ThinkPad that I paid half for it, but I have a $3,000 ThinkPad down there. I certainly appreciate expensive laptops, but I also appreciate low-cost ones. So anyways, that's off there. You get dual upgradable RAM, which is key here. I will 100% get the Switch 2 at launch, Isla. The Switch is sick. And I want to hope that they miss something and I can overclock. Dual thermal pad, thick thermal pad on the top for this to be upside down, thin thermal pad on the bottom for that to be, yeah, I wish companies would pay me. Then I could be a shill. I'm like failing at being a shill. I'm joking. I wouldn't actually. I get offered sponsorships and paid reviews. I just don't take them. What do we got here? This will be some probably Samsung, or is it going to be SK Hynix? What do you guys think? I think SK Hynix 16 gigabyte single stick. Hell yeah, I won. So SK Hynix single stick. Just so you know, DDR5 runs in pseudo dual channel, so you don't actually need two sticks. It will work faster if you have two sticks, just so you know. It has to do with, like, I'm not a RAM guy, but it will improve latency if you have two sticks of it. But it's not like DDR4 memory, where if it's in single channel, you're just shitting on your CPU. This will be basically the same if you have one or two, realistically. Hey, Anders, man, you don't have to do that. I do appreciate it, though. I'm not going to say no, but I do. But you don't have to. Don't feel pressured. David, does he? Yeah, David does tech stuff. I've watched a couple of his videos, actually. He's very high energy. I appreciate that. And he has an accent, which is, I don't know. Is he Dutch? I can't remember. I've only seen his stuff a couple of times. But he has a cool accent. But yeah, dual channel is fine. Sorry, single stick is fine on DDR5. If it's DDR4, yeah, you gotta get that stick in there. And yeah, as Imre Salute says, one of the advantages of this is you can just buy this. You can buy another one of these, right? So you don't have to buy two sticks now. You can buy. Let me come up here. You guys can like freeze frame that if you do buy this. It's the same one that was in the Lenovo Legion reviews that I've just published. Where the hell's the camera? That is such low resolution. Whatever, you can't read it. If you go back and watch my just finished Lenovo Legion reviews, they had the exact same RAM in them, and I have a screenshot of it in that review. So just buy that same stick if you care. All the good tech tubers are Canadian. There's only one good tech tuber, and it's me. So yes, I win by default. Hey man, King Maniac Tech, what's up? King Maniac Tech also has a channel that he is overhauling now, basically. He bought, I don't want to spoil it, but this man bought a Legion 9i RTX 4090 with 64 gigabytes of RAM and a mini LED screen off me for a really good price. Beast computer. I was gonna keep it, and then I was like, I'll just put it on, like, he messaged me and he's like, I don't know, I'm looking for a laptop. I was like, yo, you want to buy this? And he said, yeah. I was like, I guess I'm not keeping it. I was gonna sell the ThinkPad, but I don't game that much. I do, but like, I play like Baldur's Gate and stuff, honestly. So I was like, yeah, the ThinkPad's fine, I guess. I guess I'll use the ThinkPad. So he's getting my Legion soon. Prathamesh, do LOQ i7 14700 variants have motherboard issues? Oh yeah, I don't think so, man. I really don't think Lenovo. It's a roll of the dice. Every tech has a 1% failure rate, I would say, maybe even 5%. If it blows up, then go with Lenovo. Always use your tech a lot in the first couple of weeks, but I highly doubt you're going to get any abnormal motherboard issues. Shut up and take your money. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good price. I've been getting some decent price stuff recently. I've been really hunting. It's exhausting. The actual cooling here is legit too. You get two two heat pipes, thick heat pipes, same as the Legion Slim. You get some coverage here for VRMs. Basically nothing's exposed. 4060 is probably that one. 4060 doesn't run super hot anyways. And that's 8845HX, which doesn't run super hot anyways. The Intel will run a little bit hotter, but I don't think it's going to be an issue. This looks pretty, what is that, peanut? This looks like pretty robust cooling as it is. You guys want to see me take off the cooling right now live? That's a stupid thing to do. Let's do it. Yeah, honestly, 1% is probably low. I think it's probably 5%, to be honest. Like, realistically, it's probably 5%. I think 1% is the goal. There's always, like, user error. But, I mean, I told you, I've got 2 Lemon Lenovos over the years. I mean, I've got a lot of Lenovos. I've probably got 100 Lenovos. Maybe not 100, maybe 50. Probably about 50 Lenovo laptops over the years. And I've had 2. One was a Lemon motherboard. So that's like a 0.5% failure rate, 5% failure rate, whatever. Or, sorry, 1% failure rate. On that would be 2.5. So I probably had I'd say they're probably at 2.5% failure rate. And that was also a first-gen product. So I'll give them a pass on that. That's probably why that happened. They kind of knew about that and they revised it. But oh my God, whatever. Warranties are, fuck you. That doesn't apply in my country. By the way, depending on your country, that can void your warranty. It doesn't happen in Canada, but that may void your warranty. So be very careful. You can rescue that sticker depending on your country. Yeah, man, let's remove this cooling. What's my favorite laptop? That's a very tough question. Probably the Lenovo Legion 7 Slim. Probably. I really like the Yoga 9i. That would be a very close second, but it's more expensive. It has a better screen, but they're very close. Third, what would be my third favorite laptop? I don't even know. The G14 2022, 23 are pretty sick. You know what? Probably ThinkPad. So, to be honest, probably just go with the ThinkPad. I'm trying to think if there's any like Dells or other Asus that would beat out like my top. I don't think so. All right, so let's just screw over here. People trying to. Oh, thanks, man, with the reviews. Good choice. This fan may not have to come off. Sometimes they're attached to the cooling. I think this one is attached. That's off, that's off, that's off, that's off, that's off. Slim 7 trackpad is dead. Oh, it's dead. Yeah. Slim 7 Legion or Slim 7 just like IdeaPad or whatever it's called. There was a little bit of quality control issues, I think, with the 7 Slim in 2023. They had a few issues because I think people just went crazy and started buying them like crazy. And I think they put out a couple. I think they put out a bad batch, which happens. I mean, it happens. But it's just make sure you deal with it. I mean, I'm not going to give any company a pass. But I mean, I'm sure they'll deal with it. Just make sure you deal with it. Why are you stuck? Oh, do I have to take this whole butt off? Yeah, I do. I wanted this to be a quick teardown. How much did you pay for your HP Victus? You paid 1K Canadian. I think I paid about it. Yeah, I paid like $1,000 or something like that. Maybe a little bit less. I think I paid like 900. It was pretty close to what you just said. It's a good price, by the way. It's fine. It's actually a decent laptop. All right, where are you stuck? I think that one still might be pulling. No, you're out. It could just be the thermal paste is like stuck. Does this whole butt just have to pull off? That's kind of annoying. I can probably sneak it under. Nah. I don't want to pull the butt off. I'm scared. All right, butt's off. Speaking of HP, difference Transcend. Hey, I have a Transcend as well, man. As you know, you had a Transcend. Mine was like 40% more expensive than you. HP is so expensive in Canada. The Transcend specifically is so expensive here. It's not, you shouldn't buy the Transcend. In Canada, you shouldn't buy it. It's too expensive. I have a Transcend. I'm going to compare the G14. In other countries, it might be okay. But here, it's really expensive. Oh, the RAM. RAM. Cooling is off. Do it live. Oh, it's using PTM. So, do not take off your thermal solution on your LOQ because the LOQ is using PTM7950. You know how I can tell? Because it's dry. That's not thermal paste. See that See that like semi-baked good there? That's PTM7950. PTM7950 is a phase change material that will go from basically like a thermal paste into a solid-like material. I'm going to need a knife because I'm going to have to repaste this, by the way. It'll turn into like a thermal paste-like material once it's heated a bunch of times. So you basically get it in this type of, you get it in this type of sheet. You put it on, you heat it up, you cool it down, you heat it up, you cool it down. It turns from like a kind of a pasty type material into this kind of that dry stuff there. And it works better than thermal paste, straight up. It's not as good as liquid metal, but it's better than thermal paste. Hey, so another person, Aldo. I'm going to have to disappear for 1 second. I can't find my little knife. I have to repaste this live because I can't put this back together. You can't reuse PTM7950. It will be compromised. So the benchmarks will be shit if I do that. Yeah, I'll be right back in a second. Unless the knife is in this drawer. There it is. I don't have to go anywhere. You guys were going to think you could troll the stream, but you couldn't because I was here. Hello to Appa Yip Yip. Next thing I need to find is paper towel. I'm going to show you guys how to apply PTM live. I'm going to try this kind of ghetto-ass paper towel that you get like when you go to like a school. I think it's less likely to give off like little crumblies, so that would be better for repasting. Oh man, I probably missed so many questions here. Hello there. Yeah, honestly, using PTM is goated in like a budget laptop because it's actually probably not trivial to apply. I mean, they probably have a machine by now to do it, but it is a pain in the ass versus just squirting on thermal paste. Thermal paste is much easier to apply and cheaper. PTM costs vastly more money. This whole sheet here cost me about 50 bucks, maybe 60 bucks Canadian, imported from, I believe, China. It's official PTM7950 Honeywell. Pretty expensive. You get I mean, that's a lot. You do a lot. But if you're like a benchmarker, it would cost you a fortune to do that. Which I kind of am a benchmarker, but not like a pro. Typically, I don't always replace PTM unless the laptop has it and I compromise the cooling solution. I have to put it back on because I've basically weakened the laptop by doing that. So HP Transcend, even in India, is expensive. Yeah, it's very expensive. The G14 and the Transcend are ludicrous right now, especially because the Legion 5 with OLED is way cheaper. And there's other laptops with OLEDs that are like going to perform the same because they have 4060s and 4070s that don't need a lot of watts. So, I mean, like some of these business laptops, like Dell XPS and stuff like that, which are also expensive. But the point is, it's not like they're not even gaming. They are gaming laptops, but then again, so are a lot of these business laptops these days. It's just the way that they are. Holy crap, there's 33 people in the stream. Hello, everybody. You guys want to see me blow up a computer live. Imagine I didn't disconnect the battery. And then like I booted this up and it was just toast. Okay, so you got to clean this off. It's much harder to clean off than thermal paste, but just a little bit of rubbing alcohol. High concentration rubbing alcohol is key. Don't use water, obviously. You'll leave minerals on your thing. Okay, more questions. Tech Ibo is... Was true corporal style of announcement. Of course it was. Yeah, just like random benchmark bars. Ally X Extreme, same. They use the same Zen1 Extreme. That's unfortunate. Upgraded RAM's big though. I'll give them that much. If it's 32 gigabytes, that's huge for a handheld. I will give them that. That's a W. King MediaTek, they only recommend the Transcend. Yeah. Best Buy is goated. I bought that G14 already on sale from Best Buy. I bought, what else did I bought a bunch of stuff from Best Buy Open Box recently. I have an Asus, a bunch of stuff. Always check the Best Buy Open Box stuff because it's the same laptop. It's just open. And you pay half as much. Can you guys see what I'm doing here? This is really hard to get on camera. So this, like I said, this comes as a sheet. You're going to want to measure it, and then you cut it. I'm only doing this because I took off the original stock, and it compromises it. So I have to reapply what I took off. If I put on thermal paste, I would actually make the LOQ an inferior product to what it was at stock, because they're using PTM, which is what the Legions do. Liquid metal is better, but it's also dangerous. It's easy to mess up. I'm not doing liquid metal. And PTM would be easily outperform thermal paste. So it's kind of like the next best thing. You get all the benefits without all the risks, basically. This knife needs to be replaced. I'm just winging it. Just winging it live. I just wasted $1, probably like $3 worth of pad. Yeah, if the price is the same and the RAM is 32 gigabytes, that's pretty sick. We'll see. I didn't mind the Ally. It's just when this SD card sucked, but when the Legion Go came out, the bigger screen, I was like, all right, well, goodbye, Ally. So this stuff comes, this is such a hard, this is going to be such a pain in the ass. I'm going to try to capture this on video, but it's like old man eyes trying to see. So if you can see that, it comes as a pad. There's a plastic on both sides, and I need to peel off the plastic without compromising the whatever, pasty pad. And I am not, oh, I got that on the first try. I'm getting good. And so it comes as, now it's a sticky little pad. You got to put it on flat. You do not reapply it once it's on. Like that. Also, this uses thermal putty, which is nice. It's on my hands. Thermal putty is really nice on RAM and VRMs and things like that. So they're definitely not cheaping out. Like you get a nice thermal pad over here. Thermal putty looks good. This is a really nice. The only like way you could improve this thermal solution is by adding more heat pipes to it, which would add more weight and more price. Burnsy, welcome to Get My Videos Early. Yeah, I'm going to start actually publishing that. I'm going to actually start doing that. So if you're a member, it'll launch the videos probably like 12. There's all these time zone things, probably like 12 hours early, like the day of for me. And then other people will get them like, I don't know, 6 in the morning my time, which is like technically the next day. Oh, I'm going to have to bring this in close. I'm sorry, guys. I can't really see. Pushing 40, bros and goyles. How did I get that on the first try? That has never happened. Don't touch it once it's on. It's not thermal paste. Once you touch it, it's screwed. Who else we got here? You got that enraged bow face now there. Should I get this pad for my pad? Which pad? Like a cooling pad? There's so many messages. I really want to buy an OLED screen, but I'm very afraid of OLED burn-in. I will give Asus credit there, more Finny. Asus has really good OLED care. Lenovo does as well, but Asus I think is pretty goated with laptops and OLED care, so there's advantages to that. Anything else that PTM? Oh, PTM. Yeah, if you want King Maniac Tech, if you want to get PTM, let me know later. I'll give you the link to it. It's eBuy7. You don't want to buy this stuff on Amazon. I got some off Amazon. It seemed to be authentic, but it's, I don't know. Just get it off eBuy7. You got to import it, and it's fine. I don't know how I got this on the first try. I mean, I've been doing this. I guess I've been doing this a lot recently. Had to get off my deathbed to do. Oh yeah, you're food poisoned right now, aren't you? Like actively food poisoned, Burnsy. Yeah. I have the Amazon stuff, the PTM. It's in my drawer here. But once I got eBuy7, I was like, whatever. It's like, I know that's real. So it seemed to be fine. My Switch video, not my Switch, my Steam Deck video, I use fake PTM on the original and the OLED. And the original one basically performs as good as the OLED version once you put on better thermal solution. But then I started getting the official stuff from eBuy7 because then I just know, right? That is fantastic. I did not expect to get that on the first try. I am very proud of myself. I usually screw that up and then weep, and then I have to use more of it, and then I get sad. This is the part, there's the like other part. You got to put this on one go. You don't want to put it down and squiggle it around because this stuff is very fragile. Put it on like that. Give it a push. You're done. That's all you get. You're done, bro. Look like a demon. Does my little emoji there, is it a red-eyed Palpatine? Or is it a non-red-eyed Palpatine? Speaking of. You got sick from the fan dust. That's what it was, yeah. I did gardening before this. It's like super hot in Calgary right now, like 22 degrees Celsius. And I like did all this like grass clearance, and afterwards I was like, oh, I'm probably gonna have an allergic reaction to all this like dried grass mold and stuff, and I'm actually starting to get a headache. But I'll live. I'm a sacrifice my body for y'all. Office. There's an Office spin. I still haven't watched all of The Office. I've seen like thousands of clips of The Office, and I have seen episodes of The Office, but I've never sat down and watched it. And which is funny because my stepdad and my younger brother are like very big Office fans. But I do really like Steve Carell, and I have not seen the British one at all. So, yes, I have an OLED TV in my living room. Yeah, because you're cool. That's why. Isn't there a Young Sheldon? Another new Young Sheldon? I've actually watched Young Sheldon. Interestingly, I have not seen most. I've seen parts of The Big Bang Theory, only little parts of it, but have not. But I've watched the entire series of Young Sheldon. I don't know. There's something about the big. Where does this screw go? There's something about The Big Bang Theory that's like a little bit. Like they like wait for the laughs. I've heard that the British Office is superior. I do like Steve Carell, but I have heard that that's one of those shows where it's like, yeah, the original is actually better. So we'll put the butt back on. Get in there. That is a huge improvement from last year. If you watch my review on the LOQ, holy, I'll say the word shit, was it hard to get that butt off? It was a massive pain in the ass, and it had this giant Gundam-style vent on the back. So Lenovo, if you're in here, sometimes you lurk on my streams. I know you. Good job. I'm already a huge fan of this LOQ. This is like immediate, unless it blows up when I turn it on again, which would be my fault. I'm gonna be a big fan because that's so much cleaner than last year. I'm actually watching Frasier right now, which is an old man show nowadays. I'm like legitimately a millennial, so Frasier, I like grew up with it. It's pretty funny. I also appreciate like Curb Your Enthusiasm, that dry humor. I like it. That little cat box emoji, how do you get that? Someone else posted that the other day. Actually, that might have been you. Is that like an actual emoji now? Okay, so the fans are plugged in. The PTM. Now, when I do my first benchmark live on stream in a few minutes, you will see that the benchmark results are going to be shit. Because PTM7950 has to harden. So it's going to be like a paste right now. It'll be okay. It'll perform okay. But I'll run the benchmarks, I'll go back, I'll run the benchmarks, I'll go back, and then tomorrow morning, when I turn on my LOQ, it will be at maximum performance, which is good, because that's when I'll do my actual review. So that's good, everything's good in here. I don't need an SSD, because I'm not going to be keeping this laptop. I'll sell it to somebody eventually. We know that it takes dual NVMe. I'm pretty happy with the inside of this laptop. Battery life could be bigger. Battery could be bigger. They probably sell it with a bigger battery, but I got the cheapo, low-cost implementation. It's an AMD, so it's going to have good battery life regardless. So, look at all those cat emojis. Oh, it's a YouTube thing. Ah, look at me. Look at me not knowing things. I've streamed thrice now, I guess. Hi, in Sweden it's 8 degrees. Yeah, Calgary's weird. People think that Canada's like a cold country, and it is. But when summer hits in Canada, it's like, now it's 4,000 degrees. And Calgary's really like that because we don't really have clouds. We're super dry. We're like a desert. So when summer hits Calgary, it's like yesterday was like 7 degrees and then today's 25 or 20. And then this week is going to be like 25 to 28 degrees. For Americans, that is hot. 85 degrees. And we're very north. So, low weather question. Yeah, man. I am a geographer. I have 2 geography degrees, just so you know. And I am doing my PhD on climate. So if you want a topic that I will know things about, you just walked into my territory. You think I'm a tech? I'm just trying to get you guys with the tech. And then I'm going to educate you about geography. Yeah, 99 watt hour would be fantastic. It's so goated. But 72 to 80 is really nice. Some of that Burnsy, you're going to be getting that laptop. That tiny little turtlet has an 80 watt hour battery. It's crazy battery life. Has the Chinook shape, strength, climate changed? The Chinook itself, we get more. So, okay, it's short-term data. So this is going to be very short-term data, Paul Jones. But we've been getting actually fewer Chinooks in the winter than we used to. We used to get them more frequently. However, the summers are way hotter. And we get more Arctic air than we used to. We used to get more like, it would flip between California air, Alaska air, California air, Alaska air. And recently, and it could just be like an El Nino thing. It's hard to always separate these out because it's long-term trends. But we also get brutal fires, man. Like, the last 2 years have just like the entire west coast of North America has been on fire, and Canada's like the worst of it. So, yeah, I like this orange one. I don't think did they make this? The black does come off to an extent off the tip, so you do unfortunately get some wear and tear. So if this was all black, you would lose a little bit of it. Yeah, I mean, if you're Paul Jones, you're American, right? Because you guys got obliterated, and like New York got obliterated from Ontario being on fire. This is why we're all going to die from fires. So let's just buy really expensive laptops and live in a state of bliss. Isn't that the way that the youths are going to live? Oh yeah, you're Canadian. Yeah. What city are you in? I can't remember. I'm sorry. Everyone's cities are all in my head at 50 different times. Yeah, it's like living. ASUS. If ASUS did climate change, ASUS did climate change. This is the world we live in. Hey, it turned on. I didn't blow it up. All right, let's bring you guys up so you can see my now return to stock laptop after I screwed it up. Oh, you're in SoCal. Oh yeah, you're in SoCal. Yeah. California is humid, that's why. Florida is humid. I spent 2 weeks in the desert of Nevada and southeastern California, and it was, I'll do American. It was 120 degrees Fahrenheit, 130 degrees Fahrenheit in Death Valley, at least. And I was out digging holes in the desert for research, which is in Celsius, I think 65 degrees approximately. It was hot. I loved it though. I like dry heat. Or medium humidity. Okay, so I didn't break the computer. That's a plus. Let's now do some more stuff. We'll do some benchmarks here. Like I said, the first benchmarks are going to suck. We're going to be getting subpar Cinebench scores because I just screwed up that thermal paste, which is fine. It'll take, my review will have the proper scores because I'll let it do its cooking. You have to cook the thermal paste. Oops, usually for like actually a day. You just run benchmarks, you let it cool down, and then it cures. Oh, $69.99. What's $69.99? 50% off on the site. Oh, yeah. The crazy thing is Linus is Canadian and he like lives near me. Like maybe I'll drive, be like an 8-hour drive, 6 hours. Well, you gotta do it to the mountains, but he's like close. He's in the next over province and he charges me American dollars and ships crazy amounts. I'm like, bro, you're a Canadian. Why are you charging American dollars? Does it come with Game Pass? I don't know, actually. Probably does. I bought like weird Lenovo stuff recently, like productivity desktops, like mini PCs, and they came with Game Pass. I was like, all right, cool. I think you have to actually launch it. Oh, you have to launch Xbox app is what you have to do. Near to me equals equivalent of the other side of the world. Yeah. Well, Canada's huge, so it's like if you drive from one province to the other, like you can be in Ontario, southwestern Ontario, and you can drive to the edge of Ontario in the northwest, and it takes you like 2 days. You would have crossed like the entirety of Europe thrice, and you're still in the same province, let alone country. All right, is Xbox updating, or do I have to manually do it? Well, do it then. All right, Xbox app. More questions while we do this. Isn't Linus in BC? Yeah, I'm in Alberta, so he's one province over. He's like, the problem is we have to cross the mountains, but if I could drive straight to Vancouver, it would be like, I don't know, 4-hour drive. It's not very far. It's just there's a Rocky Mountains in between us. You bought the Legion mouse pad. Yeah, I have the, wait. The auto puts some Amazon music. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that stupid Amazon thing. Yeah. Don't authorize it, and then it won't charge you. I think. You have to actually activate it. They'll pester you, but you can, like, not do that. But it's kind of annoying. That mouse pad is sick. I have it somewhere in my room here, in my office. But it's covered in thermal paste, so I don't use it for streams. Lenovo LOQ, laptop motors, manufacturing, direct system issue. It would be a fluke Prathamesh if the motherboard died. Just keep your system clean. Don't let the fans get clogged, and don't game on a blanket, and you should be fine. You're probably in I'm assuming you're in South Asia, so it's a hotter country, just based on your name. You might not be, but if you are, you really need to make sure you keep your systems cool because it can be real hot in some of those places, and the system will have a hard time cooling. Yes, this has Game Pass Ultimate. It doesn't tell me how long, which is interesting. I think it's 3 months. I think you get 3 months Game Pass Ultimate, not 1 month. But yes, it does come with Game Pass Ultimate. I don't remember who asked me that. It is now up in the chat. Yeah, so it does come with Game Pass Ultimate. It's nice. That's in North America. I don't know about other countries. Some countries have other types of trials. Europeans get some like wild stuff. I bought those Chinese laptop. I'm sorry, Bernsey, I claimed it, but I got Microsoft Office like 365 forever off of that laptop that I sent you. I'm sorry, I really actually needed it. That's like $400 value for me because when I'm not a student anymore, I'm going to need it. Oh, yeah, Vulu Kala. So Game Pass is here. Okay, what else you guys want me to test here? We did that. Where's my Cinebench? And then we'll do some Steam stuff. Do you think 230 is enough? 230 what? 230 is enough? And 4060 others give higher wattage. More than enough, man. The 4060 only needs like 80 watts. Going from 85 to 100 watts on a 4060 is like 5% improvement. Anything over 100 watts on a 4060 is literally a waste of money and a waste of heat. I never let my 4060s run over 100 watts. It's insane. I actually let them run closer to 85 or 90. I also need to get Cinebench, which, by the way, this thing, like I said, it's going to be messed up because of my taking off the thermal paste. Oops, no, I want harbor info. Unsubbed, undonated. Yeah. Just so you guys know, I have a Discord that is not related to my channel. It's our Discord. It's a community Discord for Canadians and Americans. It helps with getting deals is one part of it. We post a lot of deals. But there's people from all over the world now with like tech questions, just talking about tech and stuff like that. It's not really like a troubleshooting thing, but it's just chill. And there's like no negativity allowed in there. Everyone's cool. And if not, they get the ban. But yeah, join. Lots of deals, lots of tech chat. I've been stealing people from other servers, Asus, Legion, Intel, other sales places, and everybody is cool. Even the least cool people like me are cool there. Bro, people are facing battery drop issues because it's Intel. Yeah, that's why, man. Intel uses too much power. Again, I would probably recommend you get the AMD or the higher wattage. You can tell Lenovo to send you a higher wattage. This is plugged into a 230 watt charger, but they have the 320 ones. Intel, yeah. You can also, another thing, just press the mention. You can also, because that's an HX processor, 14th gen Intel processor, you can limit it. You can tell it can't have as many watts. You can starve it, and it will be fine. You'd be like, don't take all these watts, and then you'll get better performance. So a 14th gen, one advantage is it's very tunable. Where did my mouse go? I think the computer just froze. Yeah, it's very tunable. So yeah, the computer just froze. All right, well, we're going to hard boot it. Probably because it was installing 4,000 updates and I didn't let it do its thing. Yeah, King Maniac Tech, but that's the thing. That laptop has a 13980HX, which is technically, I think, the fastest mobile CPU right now. But it also has crazy good cooling, vapor chamber, a fan that runs through the laptop from top to bottom, and it also has liquid metal, and a lot of watts can be supplied with that charger. It has two chargers, by the way. I think I told you that. You're going to be getting two chargers, a low watt and a high watt, which is cool. I think it's on both. I think so. On that one, not on the Legion 7, but all right, let's run Cinebench again. I didn't actually put the laptop back together properly. I vote for a retro tech. That would be dope. Wait, I think I lost something there. Discord server was the worst thing to happen. Yeah. All of this started from that Discord. All right, let's let this run. I probably should update the drivers, but we're just going to do it. I just want to see. some basic stuff here. Once I update the AMD drivers and that, it'll perform better. But I'm primarily concerned with, I want to just quickly get an idea of how the temperatures are, and then when I let the PTM cook, it will do better. I would assume it's on both. Yeah, the Legion 9, I'm pretty sure has liquid metal on both. I could not guess that they put it on just one of them. That wouldn't make sense. Yeah, look at that. Look at that thermal performance. Can you guys see that? 70 degrees. This is after completely compromising that thermal solution, like badly compromising it. Let's throw it in performance mode here. Now we're going to get spicy. Yeah, 95. Now we're going to throttle. Okay, yeah. So I actually want this to cook for a while. I'm going to run this for a minute. Cook that thermal solution in there. Turn that liquid paste into a solid. I'm going to have to do this probably 3 or 4 times. And then later I'll come back. Yeah. Yeah, when you take off the thermal paste, not thermal paste, you take off the PTM, it totally screws it up. And it's now a liquid format, so it has to turn into like a solid. It's going to take time. Let's actually reboot this, because I want to get a baseline score on like compromised thermal solution, and then when I do my review, I can go back to the stream and just kind of talk about that, because I'm curious how much better it will get once that cooks. Alrighty, so we are getting throttling on performance mode. Again, this score will go up once my thermal paste is not screwed, basically, and also if I raised up the laptop, that would probably help, rather than doing it flat. Isn't there a new version of firmware? There is actually, yeah. I don't know what they changed though. Actually, by the way, the microphone is going to make this fan sound louder than it is. It's certainly not quiet, but it's quieter than the Legions, for sure. Which makes sense. Those were big fans, and the whole system doesn't run as hot. So, all right, let's check this preliminary score. 17,000 is actually not bad. Wow, that's pretty good. 17,407 on a 8845 HS that has compromised thermal paste. I would expect that to go up to about 18,000, maybe 18,500 once this thermal paste cooks overnight. Cooks and cures overnight. I'll do that. But that's not bad. Again, Intel will do better on here because it has efficiency cores and that, but that's actually not bad there. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so let's kick out of here. I kind of did this because I wanted to make sure I didn't screw up the paste job, realistically. Okay, let's do Steam. USB. And we can play a game. If I can find my... This mouse sucks. I don't want to use that mouse. Let's use this mouse. Let's steal it. Oh, that was an abrupt turn off of that fan. I can hear myself. Okay, so let's go here. We'll download Steam real quick. You guys don't really have the best angle on this anymore. That's probably okay. And download that. We'll do maybe a 3D mark and then we'll play a game. We will play a game for a bit and see how it performs. And we'll test out some performance modes and such. I don't know where my USB, let me walk over here for a sec. Thunderbolt, where are you? It's a very long Thunderbolt cord. It'll work. Not that this laptop has Thunderbolt. Anyways. So I have some obviously downloaded games, but I have those same games on Steam. So I'm going to do Steam because they'll be more updated. The downloaded versions of them were just for real quick benchmarks. But I'll have bad saves and they'll be really old versions. I usually have both. I'm insane and actually buy all of my games that I test on my channel. I don't know, I just feel like it's ethically better for testing purposes, but I am not your parents. You can do whatever you want. Okay, there's a new graphics test by 3D Mark as well as okay. Oh, 3D Mark. Yeah, 3D Mark also has it has Solar Bay. I'm going to pull this right off camera because this is my actual Steam password. You guys can get out of here. trying to steal my stuff. Oh, damn it. Now I have to go into my email. The stream's going to go all weird for a second, just so you know. Probably freeze. Are you guys back? Can you see me? Yes, you can. Sorry, I had to get my Steam stuff hooked up. All right, we back. Both pricing error 2024, yeah. Let's go invisible. There's my brother. Oh, he's playing Baldur's Gate. Hell yeah, you are. My brother is Ben. By the way, here. You know what? I have people here, and I'm gonna influence you. I'm gonna post something from my alternative account, which is my I watch videos account. You're gonna see me appear in the chat as my alt. Yeah, take it easy, Gamers Generation. That's my little brother. My little brother is sick. He is awesome. He does video game, like, I don't know what you call it, educational stuff, but it's like funny. You should watch. He is cooler than I am, and now he's playing Baldur's Gate. Yeah, check out my brother, because my brother is cool. He doesn't have a lot of time for YouTube right now because he is going to teacher's college, because he's a cool guy. The link didn't post for you. Well, that's unfortunate. His name is Idiot Ben. Pretty straightforward. IDIOT Ben. B-E-N. And he is hilarious. He talks about games, retro games, that. I highly recommend his channel. He's a very funny guy. They're like long form videos, 20 minutes or so, but they're like perfect to just throw in the background. He's also like actually funny. I'm not just being biased. He's legitimately funny. And you just throw it in the background and just listen to it, but he's funny. Okay, so do we do 3D Mark and then we'll do like an actual game? We'll do 3D Mark to start here. Hey, Bill. Says I can never say your name. Burbanana? Burbanana, yeah. Hello. I know you. That is the second time I've said your name out loud in the entire world. Okay, we're downloading 3D Mark. We'll see what we can get here. Burbanana. Is that right? Burbanana? Like a banana? Like a nanner? The CPU score might be a little weird and the GPU may be a little bit low here just because the thermal paste. You just popped in. I actually took off the thermal solution, the whole thing, and looked at it. And it has PTM7950, which technically you need to cure over time. You run a benchmark, you let it cool. You run the benchmark, you let it cool. Is Windows, I think it's Pro, King Maniac. I think that the Legion 9i Pro has, oh wait, you're just asking, is it Windows? Yeah, it's just Windows. I think it's also Windows Pro. I think yes to both of those. So anyways, yeah, so I compromised the thermal solution on here temporarily. It'll take me a few cooks to make this thing go. The keyboard, yeah, let's do the keyboard. I didn't actually do it. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, so the keyboard is the same as, it's a Legion keyboard. So black keys, which I don't like because they show fingerprints. You can see there's a fingerprint there. I prefer the silver style. However, the actual keyboard is unchanged. We'll give it a quick typing test here. Yeah, so it's a 10 out of 10. It's actually snappier. Really? Is it actually snappier? Yeah, it feels better than the Legion 7. That's not the Legion 7i Slim, the Legion 7i Pro. This feels better than it. That's interesting. Because this is a plastic keyboard deck, but it's very firm. And yeah, I actually really like that keyboard. That's a 10 out of 10 right there. It would be very similar to the 7i Slim. It doesn't feel mushy. Oh, no, this doesn't feel mushy at all. This feels fantastic. It's real snappy. And there's no, some of them times you get like a little bit of a dead zone here because there's like a cooling thing. It doesn't have that. This is really snappy actually. Yeah, that's a really good Legion keyboard. And the Legion keyboards are the best on the market. So this would be probably one tier below the 2023 Legion 7, which has like a glossy texture, making this on par with the second best keyboard. Got to do a few cooks. Yeah. The trackpad's good too. It's not glass though, but it's snappy. It's fine. Lenovo just makes good keyboards. So that's. I am curious if that's a fingerprint reader. I kind of doubt it. Let's just see his fingerprint sign. It'll tell us. Fingerprint. No, it's not a fingerprint reader. I knew it. Okay, so that's installed. Let's quickly do Nvidia. Nvidia has really bad drivers recently, so I'm going to do the Nvidia beta app, which I do recommend using, which is crazy. I'm actually recommending Nvidia apps because why am I not using this? Because I don't know. I just find the drivers more stable when you use this app. When I've been downloading them myself, I just keep getting Nvidia issues. Nvidia is an AI company now. They're going to put more resources into AI. I mean, I'm not a CEO, but I get it. They're going to make 100 times, if not 1,000 times more money on AI. They're going to focus on their studio drivers more than their gaming drivers. So if you're getting a lot of driver issues on your Nvidia products, try the beta app. And you can swap between drivers much more easily. You can also use studio drivers. The installer cannot continue. You require an Nvidia GPU. Well, what do you think that I got, friend? More Nvidia problems. Yeah, probably in. It should be in hybrid mode. It should know. We're in hybrid mode. I mean, sure, we can do GPU mode. Let's go like this. Nvidia control panel. It's weird that it's the settings are not available. Isn't that a quirk? Maybe I can just update through here. There's Game Pass showing up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do DGPU. That's a Windows problem. That's not even a Lenovo problem or an Asus problem or whatever. Windows is a piece of crap, and it constantly. Oh, by the way, I want to tell you guys this. If you're getting bad battery life on your laptop, I highly recommend that you come in here and you go gaming mode. Okay, and you come in here and you tell Windows specifically which programs to put into power saving mode. If you can see that there. Because Windows will try to be intelligent and figure out which ones should use your Nvidia graphics, which ones should use your integrated graphics. And it always is wrong. And then you'll just be like browsing the web, burning through your like RTX 4080 or something. So what I do is I come in here and I make my browsers power saving. I don't do Windows, let Windows decide. I come in here and I say power saving, right? I don't want Windows to decide because Windows is stupid and it will do it wrong. So I come in here and I turn all these things to power saving. Then I make my games high performance, or just leave it like Steam. It'll figure that out. But otherwise, it will be like you'll be just like browsing Amazon, and it'll be like ripping out 50 watts on your Nvidia graphics. So relying on Windows to do something is a big mistake. So someone has released yesterday a Discord client for Windows 2000. Oh, that's actually pretty cool because I actually have a Windows 2000 laptop in my closet, a ThinkPad. Burbanana. By the way, I ordered the HP Firefly 14, which you can't get in Canada. 7840HS, dope. 32 gigabytes, dope. And the new EliteBook G18. That's the HP EliteBook, right? With the Ultra 7 1555H to test. Any thoughts? I haven't done much HP business stuff, but I've done a little bit, like the Pavilion Plus. HP stuff's really expensive in Canada. Like, really expensive. But they make good stuff. It's just their prices are too high here. The 155H is a very good CPU. If you watch my Alienware review, Dell Alienware M16R2, it has the 155H, which is a really good CPU. And it has good battery life for change. Yeah, that Windows gaming mode thing, if you're ripping through, like even on an Intel system, you shouldn't be burning more than like 15 watt hours if you're just browsing. Look at this thing. And so as a result, that's really annoying. You would probably want to make sure that different programs in that aren't burning off your watts, I guess I'd say, because they're stuck in like high performance mode, which is probably pretty common. I've always had to manually do that. And this, my friends, is why benchmarking is a pain in the ass. I've been saying this on my Discord, half of the time I spend benchmarking is getting Nvidia drivers to work. I'm not exaggerating. It takes so long these days. Also, Bing is not going to help here. Yeah, Nvidia drivers, man. It used to be AMD that was the issue, and nowadays it's Nvidia. It's brutal. Would you pick a Ryzen 7 8840 or 155? Ryzen. Straight up. If the price was the same, I would take the AMD. It's very well curated. The Intel Core stuff is very good, but it's like beta at this point, right? Where the AMD stuff was like beta last year. So we're getting to the point now where the 8845HS is very well, I don't know, curated. So I would take it over Intel Core. Intel Core is still fantastic, and I think it's a big step forward for Intel. Very big step forward for Intel, but I think it's gonna take time for them to get the drivers and stuff down. I've done a lot of Intel Core stuff recently, and I do like it. That is a very good price for the HP Firefly. They're very expensive normally. 155, 14. Yeah, those HPs are pricey, man, but they're nice. And you'll like the 155. You can game on it if the system itself is like a 100-watt system, not a 65 watt like the LG Gram that I just reviewed. You'll get really good iGPU performance on that, which will rival like AMD. So you'll be able to do gaming on that integrated graphics. And if you're gaming at 14 inches at 1200p with Intel Core Ultra, that's the sweet spot. So you should be getting pretty good gaming performance off of that system. All right, let's see if I can get this stupid thing to install. This is like Nvidia, such a headache all the time. It doesn't matter what system, what brand. Jensen, are you in my chat here? Can you fix this, bud? Yeah, the Ryzen performance is going to be at least the same, if not slightly better, more stable, I guess I'd call it. And you'll get way better battery life. Those Fireflies are nice, man. They're really expensive. Can you just effing install Nvidia? You turd. Man, it's fantastic. Which phone would you buy? OnePlus or OnePlus, man? Like straight up. I was a big fan of that OnePlus. It's a really nice phone. It just feels very snappy and premium, and the price is so good. Honestly, on those OnePlus 12Rs, you better not tell me I don't have Nvidia graphics, because I do. Burnsy is getting my phone, by the way. Imre salute. He bought it off of me. That 12 Plus. I used it for like 2 months, and now it's time to move on. I'm like, my whole family uses FaceTime, so I'm locked into an ecosystem, unfortunately. Unfortunately, if I didn't have to use FaceTime for a primary mode of communication with my entire family, I would 100% not use an Apple device, because they are 3 times to 4 times more expensive. I feel like this is not going to work, and I feel like I'm going to have to... Yeah, see that? Oh, isn't that annoying? It's going to really cause that much of a pain in the ass here to deal with this. Oh, it might be that stupid overclock thing. I've had issues with that overclocking. I have had issues with this here. Install the driver. What? I'm trying to install the driver. Oh, it went back to hybrid mode. What the hell? I might have to go into the BIOS to get this working. That's really annoying. Let's... Nvidia. Why you do this to me? Okay, I got more questions. By the way, Boke, if you do a review on those Fireflies, if I can get one, they're really expensive here. Will you break free from Tim Apple one day? Honestly, it's never going to happen, because they will never let FaceTime go on Android, because if FaceTime was on Android, 50% of users of Apple would abandon it. That's not what I wanted to do. That is the boot manager. BIOS is, I think, F1. I think. Or maybe F2. Just so you guys know, if you're only paying attention, I'm having a really hard time installing NVIDIA drivers. As per usual. Did I miss the BIOS screen? What the hell? How do you get into the BIOS? I thought it was F2 or F1. How to BIOS on, say, Legion. How to BIOS on Legion. I was certain it was F2. Yeah, it is F2. I probably just missed it. I'm having really hard time installing these stupid-ass Nvidia drivers. So, isn't the US going for only Apple because the artificial limit is... I don't know. I don't know. Google's an American company, right? There we go. Okay, so it's UMA graphics. What? Oh, whatever. That just means integrated. That's a weird name for it. Okay. This is going to be F10. Or did I say exit to save? There's no save button, eh? Nope. Save and exit. Yeah, Nvidia has been since probably July. I was gonna say June or July of last year. Their drivers are just constantly being an issue. Desktop is not quite as bad, but it's still bad. Laptops are brutal. It doesn't matter what freaking laptop I test. There's always a problem. Intel CPUs, AMD CPUs, Lenovo, HP, Dell, doesn't matter. They all just drive me nuts with these Nvidia drivers. And now I don't even have a display. My friends. My friends. This is going to be a pain in the ass. The Nvidia drivers are just going to be a massive pain in the ass. Okay, let's go like this real quick. I'm going to have to probably do it this way. I don't think you're going to run into this problem. But you never know. This is why doing things live is fun. Now you guys understand what I do when I'm like, why do your reviews take 2 weeks to do? Well, this is why. Because I do this all the time. If I run into issues, I might have to actually just troubleshoot, unfortunately, with these stupid Nvidia drivers. This has to switch over to HDMI. Come on. That's probably the wrong one. Ooh, we might have had a snag here with this laptop. Yeah, that might be an actual legitimate issue I might have to deal with. Like an off-stream kind of thing. Because we're getting serious issues here with these drivers. I lost the chat real quick. Let's bring that back. Huh, the chat imploded. Chat imploded. I'm sorry, I can't see your messages. I'm gonna have to look at the screen. Try Revo uninstall it. Yeah, now it's like I'm in BIOS mode here, so. I might have to take the battery out, do a CMOS reset, and a full kind of thing. That's a pain in the butt. Yeah, like I said, these Nvidia, this is not common. I haven't had any issues like this recently, where it's just like they won't install. But it is possible that it just has like a weird BIOS thing going on. So I don't even see a display at all anymore. Isn't that fun? Yeah, I might have to actually take out the battery and do like a full BIOS kill. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, Revo is good. Display driver uninstaller. Yeah, I'm in the BIOS right now, but I can't see anything. Isn't that just fun? Yeah, so I might have to do a full kind of teardown of this laptop, kill the BIOS. That's going to be fantastic. Yeah, so yeah, Jensen, he's getting them leather jackets, right? So yeah, this is gonna be a pain in the butt. So I might have to actually, at some point, if I can't get this where I might have to kill the stream and just do it on the off stream. It's gonna probably take a long time for me to figure this out. I'll have to do like a BIOS thing, because we're going to be stuck in integrated graphics and dedicated graphics. And the problem is the drivers weren't updating, so it's freaking out because the drivers are messed up. Those them Nvidia drivers. What was the keyboard BIOS? I don't know if there is a keyboard BIOS reset. You can just come in and just like open the laptop and just kind of kill the BIOS this way. You basically take it out. Oops. You basically take out the batteries and you let it discharge for a while, and it'll switch it back to default settings, which in this case, default settings for this BIOS is hybrid, and then I'll have to figure out how to get those stupid Nvidia drivers working. Show this video on, yeah. So yeah, as I was saying, if you ever watch my reviews and you're like I'll put in the community post and I'll be like, I got a, I don't know, whatever, laptop. And then it's like, people will be like, why didn't you post a review? It's been 3 days. I'm like, because I've been troubleshooting Nvidia drivers for a freaking week. The Alienware was really bad. Oh my God, that thing was a massive pain in the ass. It wasn't Dell's fault, but whatever Nvidia drivers I installed on that thing, like imploded the laptop and I couldn't get them off. And then I finally reset the whole ass laptop, like wiped the hard drive, and it worked. But some Nvidia driver just imploded that Dell Alienware. It drove me crazy. And so I installed Studio drivers after. So we're probably gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to wait for a minute. The CMOS battery is here. We'll have to kill that, unfortunately. Ow. You dirty rat. Okay, so I'm disconnecting the CMOS battery, the actual battery, because sometimes that works as a backup. This doesn't always work, and if it doesn't work, I might have a lemon. And by a lemon, I mean something's messed up with the drivers and I can't get them back. I always wondered if I shouldn't... Yeah, it depends. Lenovo doesn't really state one or the other. Like, you can just get the drivers from them. Handhelds, iGPUs, that kind of stuff, often you get them from the manufacturer. Some of the AMD stuff, like the 6800S, typically they tell you to get that. Yeah, Banana. I haven't had NVIDIA driver issues on... I have had NVIDIA driver issues on desktop, but it's more like the game crashes and the computer crashes. That's primarily what I've been having. But their laptop drivers have been very bad all year. I don't know what it is. Like, they're just constantly a pain in the ass with, like, they're not connecting, they're disconnecting this and that and this and that. It's like, come on, just sort it out, bros. It was really refreshing. I went back to that G14 with AMD and I had no problems with it. And that one actually had problems when it launched. So it was kind of like a change up where the AMD laptop started with problems and they solved it. I always recommend you can try Studio drivers. Probably gonna have to plug this in. You can try Studio drivers from Intel, which the only difference is they're technically not like game ready, meaning if a brand new game comes out, it takes a little bit more time for the Studio drivers to address that brand new game. But Studio drivers are much more stable. So I actually recommend, if you're not playing a launched today style game, try Studio drivers. It actually has really improved my stability, I would say. I'm not even sure to blame the drivers. It's both the manufacturers and the driver. What it is they're not communicating. So that that Dell laptop with Intel Core Ultra, at the beginning there was a conflict between the Core Ultra Intel Arc drivers and the Nvidia drivers because Nvidia wasn't communicating with Intel, I'm sure, and vice versa. And technically the laptop companies need to be the liaisons for these products. So Dell maybe didn't do that, and so it was a massive pain in the butt. But all right, we're on hybrid graphics again. Can we install the drivers? I feel like I'm gonna have to do this off stream and try to figure out what the heck is going on. We can try it again, but laptops are a whole level different. Yeah, because they're integrated, right? So it's really difficult to like Lenovo does everything here, right? So it's like the motherboard, all of the products. Then they have to figure out how they're going to sync Nvidia with Intel, with AMD, and blah 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 blah. And so there's a lot of onus on the laptop manufacturers. So I do get it. It is a massive pain in the butt for laptop manufacturers. It's working now, I think. Which I appreciate it. Like, I appreciate the struggles. Is that the right way to say it? For laptop manufacturers, right? Whereas a desktop, I mean, you're doing it on your own. So if you screw something up, I mean, as long as everything's installed properly, then a lot of it comes down to the motherboard manufacturer, like MSI, Asus, whatever. But I think this is installing, friends. I had to wipe the BIOS, I think. I don't know, it's doing something. Or it's frozen, one or the other. I don't know. It's Nvidia. There we go. Oh my God, it worked. Like, why? Weird BIOS. So if you get this laptop, if you guys are coming in now, I couldn't get the Nvidia drivers to install. Pain in the ass. I just disconnected the battery and the CMOS battery for, I don't know what it was, a minute, and I held the power button when they were disconnected, plugged them back in, and it reset. I'm scared now, and I'm not going to do game ready drivers. I'm going to do studio drivers because they're more stable. And I'm not going to play any games that launched today, right? Ooh, wait, I don't want, what did that say? Optimize, yeah, that's fine. Nvidia overlay, I don't want you. I don't want that. All right, the beta program is good. Nvidia did a good job with this thing. It's like I don't have to worry as much about, I don't know, sometimes those standalone things don't work. You can come in here and you can say, do I want studio drivers? Do I want game ready drivers? The only difference is the game ready drivers will have like brand new games. So say the brand new Star Wars drops in the summer. I can't remember what it's called, Jedi Outcast, or I don't remember what it's called, something. You know, the day that game comes out, the studio drivers will be like, 3 weeks old. So they won't address that game. So you'll want to get the game ready drivers because you'll see like a 50% improvement. But after those changes are stabilized, they get moved into the studio drivers. So the studio drivers are usually a few weeks old, but they're very stable. Yeah, Outlaws, that's what it is. I've noticed that it's good to just do a reset with a new game. Yeah. Normally I do a fresh Windows install, but for a review, I don't because I want to check all the bloatware and I want to run into the problems that people run into. But honestly, I do a fresh Windows install 99% of the time. Get yourself, usually your stupid Wi-Fi drivers, MediaTek Wi-Fi drivers are like never found by Windows. Throw them on a USB key and reinstall Windows. Ironic you say the beta is good after that issue. I just like it because it finds them and sometimes, I don't know, like I'm trying to grab the new game ready drivers and like game ready drivers are risky. If I grab the studio drivers, I can, if I grab the beta app, I can flip between studio drivers and non-studio drivers. I don't know what the hell this is doing now. And it just allows me to flip between them for testing purposes. That's primarily what I use them for. When I do like my ThinkPad, my bazillion-dollar ThinkPad, just has studio drivers installed on it. Just nothing going on here. Oh, like I don't even know if it's installing. Linux. Speaking of slim books, you got to review one of those Linux. It crashed and now the graphics aren't working again. Linux laptop brands. Slim system. Oh, somebody told me about, yeah, the System 76. They're kind of hard to get here. I might have to do that whole BIOS thing again. Because we got a dead screen here, boys and girls. Jensen, don't we pay you enough? Yeah, Bernsey, now you're seeing my, remember you see when I post on the Discord all the time, I'm like effing Nvidia drivers and I'm like going crazy and I go off the rails for like a whole day and then I like settle. This is why. It'll be like a whole day of this shit and then I'll finally get it fixed and then I'll be like, all right, Jensen's not so bad. And then the next day it breaks again. I'm like, you mother... I don't even know what's going on here. Eyeballing the Slimbook V Linux laptop. My problem is I can't use Linux for my actual job. My program doesn't work in Linux, like at all, period. I cannot see the justice for the unhinged rants. Yeah, man. Like, and it's not consistent. It's like sometimes I'll get a laptop and it'll be like smooth sailing. All those Legions I had were smooth sailing. The last NVIDIA primary issue when I was probably ranting would have been the Alienware. I was having so many problems with that Alienware. And then I had no issues on the Legions, and then I'm having this now. So, did you check? I didn't check Device Manager. Should probably, I mean, it did detect the NVIDIA graphics, but something's wrong with the drivers. All right. reset the BIOS one more time. And probably have about only 15 minutes left to do this. That's the problem. I want to actually play some games, but I may not be able to. If I can't get the drivers to work, I may have to take a break and do it. You guys are talking about the System 73, 72 laptops, was it? All right, so we're going to sit here for a sec, wait for the memory to train, and then see what happens. Oh my god, did it actually? It crashed when installing the drivers, so yeah, I might have to like integrate that into my review. Like, the drivers were a massive pain in the ass on this laptop. I have some other cool stuff coming. I bought a framework. Some of you guys may know I bought a framework laptop, like a cheap Intel 11th gen, and then I actually contacted Framework and I was like, listen, I'm going to do a review, and I'm broke, but if you send me an AMD motherboard, I'll do like a full upgrade on the video and you know, really show off what Framework can do. And that was pretty cool. So it has the 4060. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with these. I might have to like legitimately do a fresh Windows install. I'm like not. See, it's in dedicated graphics mode. Did that update? I don't know. Maybe it worked. Properties. Driver. That's an old ass driver from November. You know what? We can see if it just works. Let's fire up TimeSpy. I just want to make sure it works. Like, there's nothing wrong with Nvidia graphics. The driver is old, but whatever. We'll figure out that's driver issues. It's not. You can tell it's not a system issue now. It's a driver issue. Because we're in dedicated graphics. See, it wants to update it, but it crashed last time. So I'm angry with you. Can't wait for you to pawn a Framework 16. Yeah, it's only the 13, but the 16s are a little pricey, but it's actually really cool because like you can buy it without a graphics adapter, like no dedicated graphics. And then you're like, you know, because they're expensive. And then, you know, a couple months later, you're like, all right, I got some money. Let's grab ourselves whatever GPU, which is really cool. And they're actually AMD GPUs, which are like impossible to find these days in laptops. Yeah, I might have to DDU and just kill, because there's probably a residual NVIDIA driver on here. King Maniac Tech, you're probably very right. DDU, if you guys don't know, it will kill off drivers, which if you ever ran Intel drivers, graphics drivers, you had to kill it off. And what it will do is it'll just wipe all the driver from your system, whereas NVIDIA is trying to overwrite it. And in theory, you'll be basically cleaning the system. Then you reinstall fresh drivers, and it can actually get rid of a lot of problems. That's probably a virus. Navigating these websites is like a minefield. Oh, it did download. Yeah, it's basically rebuild. Yeah, it's always a good idea to run DDU before updating drivers, just to get rid of whatever residual crap is on the system. All right, let's try a benchmark. Again, they'll be a little low because of the cooling solution, but I don't expect problems. Like, I don't think, as long as the GPU is not imploding, I don't expect it's going to cause any problems. I'll put it that way. Gaming mode tip was really useful for me, by the way. Yeah, Bernsey. It's not as bad on certain browsers. Like Edge doesn't seem to do it, but if you use like Chromium based browsers like Chrome, Brave, they always will activate your dedicated graphics and just murder your battery life. That's why I do my tests on Edge. So yeah, the drivers are just totally screwed up on this laptop. Oh my god. My friends, now you understand the pain of being a tech reviewer. If you ever watch any tech reviewer and it's like, you see the torment in their eyes, this is why. We're going to try just a straight boot. I don't want to do that BIOS thing again. And then I'm going to have to run DDU. I'll show you how that works. And then I'll probably have to end the stream to go get some food. I haven't eaten yet today. Bernsey knows. I'm on some weird fasting BS because I'm old. I'll read chat while you guys watch me cry. If I can get my hands on Starlab Starfighter. Is that the desktop or is that a laptop? Burbanana. Star Labs. I'm thinking of Star Forge. What am I talking about? Yeah, I'm going to have to do that. Effing BIOS. I don't want to drop too many F-bombs because I think I left the monetization on this channel by accident. Which I don't normally do on streams because I swear. And I don't want YouTube to be angry with me. Look at this complete fun thing that's happening now. Where the effing Nvidia BIOS is just like, you will never install. You will never have functioning system. I'll try this one more time and do DDU, and if it doesn't work, then I'm going to have to do a Windows install, unfortunately, because I think the drivers are just messed up, right? The system is working fine, but it's crashing on the Nvidia drivers. There's some residual BS there. It's not that the drivers aren't, the GPU isn't working, because we wouldn't be getting display on dedicated graphics. So it's not the LOQ's fault. It might be Lenovo's fault for installing a crappy driver. They probably just grabbed whatever driver was out at the time. They were like, let's throw that on the machines. And I should have been like, no, Lenovo, use studio drivers. You have killed yourself. Once again, I recommend studio drivers. Highly recommend studio drivers. You guys are talking Linux now. My brain has left the chat. I tried Linux. I tried Linux for a while, but my software doesn't run in Linux at all. Or Mac. So I am forced to use Windows, whether I like it or not. For anyone who doesn't know what I'm doing, I am trying to get the freaking Nvidia drivers to install, and it's not working. Studio drivers, even for mainly gaming, yes. So, Burnsy, studio drivers are basically older and more curated drivers. So, let's say Star Wars, whatever the hell, that new Star Wars game comes out in the summer, right? So, say it drops June 1st. Nvidia, Intel, AMD will put out game-ready drivers, in theory, a few days before that are like beta drivers, like right freshly printed, boom, get them out. And, it'll improve the performance in that game because, the game developer will work with them ahead of time. But they're very unstable because they're not curated. They're like fresh drivers. Those are game-ready drivers. Studio drivers are typically older. So, NVIDIA will take all of the changes, the good things, the bad things, sort them all out, and then put them out on the system. They're usually like a month or two old. So, if a fresh new game gets pressed, that game will not be running as good on the studio drivers as the game-ready drivers. But anything that's like a couple months old, they'll be baked into the studio drivers, and you'll notice no performance difference. Studio drivers are much more stable, and they are more likely to not crash. And they're more stable, less likely to crash, and they perform better in performance tasks like rendering and stuff. But even for gaming, I use studio drivers, unless the game is brand new. Like if you remember when Hogwarts Legacy came out, Nvidia took, and Last of Us, Nvidia took like weeks to get their drivers out for those games. And they ran like dog crap. And Intel did the same with Starfield, for example. It took them like a month or two to get those game readies out. So people were basically running what you were running, like studio drivers, because those games were so new. But yeah, if you're worried about stability, run studio drivers. All right, GPU, Nvidia. Actually, hold on. I'm going to kill the Wi-Fi as well, because Windows will try to reinstall automatically. Windows is obsessed with reinstalling graphic drivers, and I don't want it to, because it will grab the wrong ones. So when you use DDU, it'll wipe all the Nvidia drivers or AMD or whatever system you're running. Kill the Wi-Fi, because Windows will, as soon as it boots up, it will immediately try to reinstall your drivers, and it will not get the right drivers because it's Windows. So then I can come in here and I have them already downloaded somewhere. Where are they? Here they are. I'm not going to use the beta app. I'm going to do the full driver. We'll see. What did you just say, sorry? I use the bottom option, just wipe it all. Yeah, I could kill the AMD drivers, actually. You're right. That's actually a good idea. The AMD drivers might be not sleeping, actually. That's a very good point. Because I didn't update the AMD drivers either. And there could be a conflict there where the AMD drivers are trying to work, but the system is like, no, you cannot do that. I'll have to put my Wi-Fi back on. See if I can beat DDU if I'm too fast. No. Connector was interrupted. AMD Radeon software. Just do it that way. You're supposed to install the AMD. Yeah, from Lenovo. It didn't actually give me any. Oh, whatever. Screw it. It didn't have any updates. Again, this laptop is brand new, freshly pressed. I'm probably like the first human who has a non-review unit because I bought it the day it launched. It took a really long time to get here, so that might not be actually true. But I have like the first model of it, what I'm saying here. And they probably just don't have drivers yet. Usually when a laptop comes out from an OEM, other than like security updates, like maybe BIOS or something, there's usually drivers for a little while that take a little while. And you're absolutely right, by the way. Technically, you're better off getting your chipset drivers from the manufacturer. Some companies don't even let you really install directly. They'll block it. Case in point, the Asus ROG Ally, the Lenovo Legion Go handhelds, they won't even let you install OEM drivers. You have to get them from the company because they have all kinds of like power efficiency stuff baked into it. So power limits and things like that. All right, driver's dead. Wi-Fi needs to go. If this doesn't work, I will cry off stream. I wonder if McAfee is breaking things. I have an active virus on my computer right now called McAfee. Apparently I missed the T14S AMD sale of last year. I have a review of the P14S, which is the same laptop with an OLED, and I have an T16S or P, whatever, the same thing. P and T are the same laptops, and they're really good, by the way. With the OLED screen specifically, they're very nice. Cry on stream. I'm always crying inside, Burnsy, at all times. Now you guys know I like shitpost about Nvidia all the time. It's literally this. This is why. And because they're a corporation and I'm like a Rage Against the Machine guy. But this is literally why. This headache that I deal with laptops. Once I find an Nvidia driver that works, by the way, I just like keep it for so long. It'll be like 2 months later, I'm still rocking the old ass drivers. I can't do that for game testing though, because it doesn't like, on laptop reviews, I have to be using relatively new stuff. Otherwise it's like, it's false. I can't be rocking like a 3-month-old driver. I just hate, this is Burbanana. I just hate that they don't have 90 or 120 hertz on those business laptops. Yeah, so there's that ThinkPad, by the way, that overpriced ThinkPad down there is 60 hertz, which does suck. I really wish it was 90 hertz. That would be killer. Do a Chris Crocker to Nvidia. Yeah. I feel like Jensen, he has this, like, what is that, Stockholm Syndrome? He's like kept us prisoner for so long that we're just like we love him now with his jacket. I just feel so cool if I like had a leather jacket. No one can be as cool as Jensen. It used to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger was the like leather jacket king, and now it's Jensen. Is there much of a difference between the Ryzen 7840H and the 8840H? So they're the same CPU, Scott Deegan, but the 8840U is more tuned. So they took the same CPU, put it back in the oven, and took out the bugs. So you'll get a little bit better battery life. You won't get as many like weird quirks with it. So currently the 8840H or HS, it's the same chip, is the best CPU on the market, in my opinion, for laptops. It's very stable. But the 7840H is technically the same chip, so whatever. I have never really run into too many issues with the thing. I did get the Lenovo Legion sleep issue that was because of that chip. They addressed it in a BIOS or something, but it still sometimes popped up. So if you can get the 8840HS, sure, you won't get those weird sleep issues and like weird AMD things because they fixed it. But in the end, it's the same chip. AMD is so ahead. AMD has terrible marketing. To address your question, horrible marketing. They're like, they just pray. They just like sit down. They're like, maybe people will buy our stuff. And it was like, you have amazing products. Market them, you dumb. G-Sync display connected. All right. Didn't say that before. Can you just play? Freaking. Here's a quiz for you guys. Other than Civilization, because I have a bazillion hours in Civilization. On my Steam account, which game do you think I have the most hours in? I will take, everyone gets one guess. Factorio. No. Baldur's Gate would be a decent, Baldur's Gate would be a very good guess, by the way. I have a lot of hours in Baldur's Gate, but it is not correct. Tip. How do you sort by hours? Is there a way of doing that? Anyway, spoiler alert, it's 3D Mark. I have 175 hours in 3D Mark. Civilization would be top. Like, there's no contest there. I wonder what Baldur's Gate is. Baldur's Gate might be up there now. It might win. Baldur's Gate, 196. Nope, I lied. Baldur's Gate has taken 3D Mark officially as the second place winner of games. Because I've been playing with my brother and sister-in-law. And, of course, myself. 3D Mark was king until then. 170 whatever hours. That's how much benchmarking I've done. Civilization is like a disease for me. If I play Civilization, any of them, like Civilization 6, I'll be like, I'll just play like a couple rounds. And then it's like, I just realized it's 2 days later and there's like birds outside. I haven't eaten. I haven't showered in 3 days. And I'm like, what? What's going on? Why have I not eaten in 3 days? All right, please, 3D Mark. Just don't be an asshole. And Nvidia, please. I have things to do. And those things include not benchmarking times by. I filter here laptops with 10 different models. Yeah, AMD's, so Banana, God, such a hard to say name, saying that the 7840U is hard, their thing is working, is not too common. AMD laptops in general just aren't as common. They're better than they used to be. They used to be like impossible to find 5 years ago. Nowadays, I think people are realizing that they're also like really good, especially in like iGPU. So we're getting a lot more of them now, but they're still, look at that, boys and girls. King Maniac Tech with the huge save to tell me to do DDU, which I should have known, but that's what happens when I do things live. I am a dum-dum. As someone who rocked Intel Arc dedicated graphics for 2 years, it's sad that I didn't know. I didn't think to do that. Yeah, the small bugs on the 7840U are very present. Definitely 8845HS is a less buggy, less buggy iteration. Hey, it's Baldur. Here's a question for you. What do you think is possibly my favorite game of all time? I can't say for sure, but probably my favorite game of all time. And I just gave you a hint because I just said part of the name. I've actually never played Quake Live. I played Quake, like normal Quake, like single player, many times. ArcGIS Pro, yeah. I use ArcGIS Pro the most, but I certainly don't favor it. Red Dead Redemption 2, yeah, definitely not. That's also a buggy mess. I probably have more hours in ArcGIS Pro than any software known to mankind. So my favorite game is probably Baldur's Gate 1, just so you know. It's very old. I grew up on Baldur's Gate 1. I'm like an OG D&D video game player. This was such a headache to get this working, eh? Like, I had to kill those drivers, and I killed the BIOS a bunch of times. So now you can see. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a laptop issue. Because like I'm live streaming a laptop here, and first of all, if it's dead, I'm going to have to return it. And you guys are going to be like, well, that laptop doesn't work. So when you get this laptop, run DDU immediately and kill those NVIDIA drivers and put on fresh ones. Which is actually, normally I do fresh Windows install, so I don't usually run into this issue because I do a fresh Windows install and then I get fresh NVIDIA drivers and there's nothing on the system. But Yeah, if you're going to run the system stock, definitely do DDU, kill those off. This screen is great, Boya Shaka. It's a 1080p screen, but it's 144 hertz refresh rate. It's pretty bright too. Definitely noticing good brightness on it. It's not 1000 nits or anything. And the colors are good. It's not a creator screen, doesn't have 100% DCI-P, but I think it's 72% NTSC, I think, off the top. No, that's not right. 72% NTSC? I'd have to check. I don't want to kill this right now, but it has good color space. It might be 100% sRGB, which is 72% NTSC, I think. These scores are going to be a little low, by the way. I did kill the thermal solution a bunch of times. Yeah, so we're only getting 10,000. Now let's throw it into performance mode, now that I'm not scared of it blowing up, and we'll do that one more time. But we'll... oh, I killed it. All right, let's play Baldur's Gate. Actually, you know what? Let's play a game, you guys. You guys probably don't like Baldur's Gate. Horizon. Forbidden West. This is like a more like benchmarky game. Baldur's Gate is new. It is awesome. Tech noobs would not enjoy that. Yeah. This is what happens when you buy like a first batch laptop. You like buy the laptop the day it comes out. I always run into driver issues when I do that because they're like so new. Does the screen have a 60? Yeah. So Scott Deegan, it has it has two just dynamic modes, which are actually really cool. 72/44. I've never seen that before. So you can go 72/144. And when I was on dedicated, when I was on integrated graphics, I had 60 or 120 as a second option. 72 is really a good compromise, I guess, because you're still going to get good battery life, but it's going to be a little bit, I don't know, smoother than lower. Does every 2 years you might have to be? It's underneath the thing. I can't read it. New upgrade. Oh, there's something above that. I think it's always pretty safe to buy a budget-friendly gaming laptop so that you can't swap other GPU later. Yeah, buying a Halo gaming laptop for full price. I mean, you can get them on sale. V Rising. What? I didn't buy that or install that. Yeah, getting a brand new budget Halo gaming laptop for full price is... How about now? Sound now or no sound now? Still no sound? That was weird. Yeah. I had to close YouTube and open it again. It was just like, would not. Yeah, and Jensen showed up. He's like, I heard someone's talking smack. It's probably outside my door right now. in his leather jacket. I'm gonna go out and he's just gonna like smash me over the head with an RTX 4090 or 5090, I guess now. And then you'll never see Tech Guy Bo again, unless Lisa Su from AMD comes and saves me. So I actually don't have Afterburner installed. Let's do it without Afterburner. I mean, I'm gonna do a full review, right? So we'll live. We'll live. I'm scared of messing up the drivers again. But what I will do is just put on the frame rate here. In game, we'll do it like old school style. Original Tech Guy Bo, who didn't know how to use Afterburner. Lisa Su's his cousin? Yeah, so she knows all his, like, his tactics. Can you bench a 5090? I don't know if they keep up with this trend of making them larger and larger. How much time did that take? Like, that took like an hour to get these drivers working. I want it to be like gaming by now and like done. But I definitely have to test the game on stream, so. That took like 1 hour to get those stupid ass drivers. So now I know that I'm just going to not, anytime that I don't do a fresh Windows install, I have to do DDU. That's what I get for usually installing Windows. I figured that I probably reinstall Windows on a computer probably 4 days a week. Yeah, it is kind of scary, Banana, that they're actually related and they run two of the most important companies on the entire planet. That is kind of terrifying. The amount of like control on just general compute is mortifying. Maybe they're actually like working together. And they're gonna like, I don't know, turn us into the AI dominated Terminator future. Shader compile. What I really want to do here is I want to test the performance modes here. I want to see how well they're tuned, like Legions. I'm assuming they're going to be good. That's one of the advantages of going with AMD. The AMD CPUs do better on lower watts, so if you go on like balanced mode or silent mode, typically they don't chug as much as an Intel-based offering of the same laptop. You guys should watch my video. It's called Silent Mode Gaming, I think I called it. And the whole video is done on a Legion 14 OLED, 4060 and 7840 HS, I think it is. And yeah, you can get crazy good performance on silent mode on those things. Like laptop fans off, great performance. And Aki, I guess I'd say that, yeah, lower nanometers, meaning the chips are more, well, they're smaller. There's a lower nanometer processor node, meaning that they typically use less heat to get to a solution, so they're a little bit more efficient. Yeah, Paul Jones. It's like you try to compare yourself to that family. Two CEOs of like two of the largest companies and most important companies on the planet. What did you do? How is the battery life on the Legion Slim 7 AMD? So Rain in the Discord did some crazy battery life tests on it. I always got like 8 hours. He manages to get like 10 hours on that laptop. So I'm sorry, but I'm just doing, I can't do Afterburner because I'm scared. Legitimately, I'm just scared to mess with the drivers right now. So I'm just going to do it this way.
I almost caught up to you a couple times too.
But
it's not easy keeping up with a machine rider.
I lost my thing.
You always learn a good tracker.
You can hopefully read the FPS up there. We're getting 63 FPS right now. I'll just narrate. We're running at like 720p on the stream, so. Yeah, 73 FPS. This is native 1080p. No DLSS. 75 FPS over here. Looking pretty good. I'm going to throw it into balanced mode here real quick. Balanced mode. LP Cam 2, by the way, blast bottles. I think I read yesterday that it's coming to a Lenovo laptop like very soon. I don't remember which laptop it was, but it's like coming. We're at 63 FPS on balance mode. The fans are much quieter. I don't know if you can hear that. Like it's dramatically quieter. This is native too. Let's go silent mode. Silent mode might chug a little, but I suspect it'll run fine. 45 FPS silent mode, 48 FPS, 50 with this draw distance here is impressive. Come back over here. Look at that. And look at that YouTube just chugging. By the way, this is smooth to me. YouTube is just murdering it with the bitrate. I'm not noticing any frame drops, just so you know. Yeah, ThinkPad P1 Gen 7. That's the first CAM memory laptop, like officially launched. Let's come in here and throw on some DLSS real quick here, just a little bit. Where is it in here? I think it's in here. I thought it was in here. There it is. Dynamic resolution scaling is not what I want. I want this. Upscale method, DLSS, just quality. I think we're going to be close to 60 on silent mode. Oops. I did that wrong. Where'd you go? I hate that there's like apply. Obviously I want apply, or why would I do it? Okay, so silent mode. Wow. 75 FPS, silent mode. Very high settings on quality DLSS. Very good performance. I'm going to turn the laptop down, the games down. Can you hear how quiet that is? And remember, the microphone will over-exaggerate. It's like a ThinkPad noise right now. Now you can see why I game on silent mode. I typically game on silent mode. As long as you have an RTX 4050, 4060, or 4070, preferably an AMD CPU, but Intel will work still. You can game on silent mode. The 4080 and the 4090 will actually need the wattages, so silent mode gaming is like not viable on 4080s or 4090s. But if you're playing, and you can see here, we'll go to auto. The FPS only went up by maybe 5. We're up to 78, 79 from 75. And we'll go turbo, or whatever they call it, performance. We're up to 85. So from silent mode to performance mode, we gained 20 FPS. That's about 20% performance. We'll go back again. Not even 20%. Yeah, down. We're still above 60 here. 67. So now you can see I game almost all the time on silent mode, assuming I have a 4060 or 4070. No, Burr Banana. The 4080 and the 4090 will need... Your question's like a little hard to answer. So there's like a logarithmic curve with those. When you lower the watts down on the 4080 and the 4090 too much, like down to... This is probably running about 40 watts right now on silent mode, approximately, if not 35. Those GPUs would be just running like garbage at this kind of wattage. You really need to have them at 80 or above watts to really do anything. Whereas the Nvidia 4050, 4060, 4070, they don't gain anything over 100 watts. And once you add slightly more watts, so this will be about 65 now, and we're only gaining, 5 to 6, 7, 8% performance, maybe 10% performance, excuse me, with those more watts. So there's really no reason, most cases, to game on performance mode on a 4060, because once you hit about 85 to 90 watts on that GPU, you're not really gaining more, and you're adding more heat. More heat means more heat to the CPU. The CPU will throttle, meaning you're more likely to get stutter, even more so on Nvidia, on Intel. So I often game on balanced or silent mode. Will you be doing any Snapdragon? There's a Snapdragon one I've been eyeing. I can't remember which laptop it was. I have it saved on a tab on my laptop. So, how is the build quality on the LOQ? It's basically very similar to the Lenovo Legion. Not quite as good as the Legion Slim, but very close. Keyboard is extremely nice. The trackpad is extremely nice. The cooling and all the internals are very nice as well. So I would give this, for the price, a 10 out of 10 in terms of build quality. It's very similar to the Legion 5 Slim. And I actually like the keyboard more than the 5 Pro. This is a 4060 Spoffle. RTX 4060, 8845HS processor. Let's play a little bit further now. We're just on balance mode here. Will I die if I jump here? No. Looks really good. You're going to get low polling rate on the YouTube stream, but I'm obviously playing above 60 FPS. We're at about 75. 60 in the water. And I'm not noticing like stutter or anything. They don't have, really? They have, for some reason, the SKUs are hard to find, glass bottles. I can put a link up somewhere, maybe, to like this one. I can just literally like go to my profile and then open up my order and be like, where is it? And I'll put it maybe in like this, because this will upload to YouTube after, and I'll put it in the video description, like the link to this laptop. Do you think the RTX 40 laptop is the best in recent years? The 4060 is the best laptop GPU, period, ever. At least that I've ever used. Why? Because it's 8 gigabytes of VRAM, like the 4070, 2 gigabytes more than last year. It has incredibly good performance to watt ratio. And it's so cheap. 4060 laptops are so cheap. And you're only gaining like 10% by going with a 4070. Now, if you get a 4070, sure, it's nice. You get a little bit more performance. If the price is very similar, I mean, just get the 4070. It's not going to make a difference, right? But for what you can get out of a 4060, it's such a good GPU. And the low wattage really appeals to me because you can keep the system in balanced mode or silent mode, which means you're not really losing any performance on the GPU, but your CPU is not going to run as hot, meaning you're going to get less stutter. You're just going to get a smoother experience, and it's going to be quieter. I have no idea where I'm going, by the way. And DLSS is very good. Yeah, I'm like, DLSS quality, if you watch my reviews, I call it free. This is DLSS quality. I think DLSS quality looks better than native resolution because you get a little bit of anti-aliasing. Obviously, if you add more DLSS, it starts to look bad eventually. But usually you can get away with quality and it looks better. Balanced usually looks good or the same. I'm a big fan. Hey, my dog came. I'm a big fan of the 4060, sorry. It's not a behemoth by any means, but as long as you're cool with a little bit of scaling, which you should be, you can get away with some serious game. Can I jump? You can get away with some serious gaming on a 4060. The 4050 is good too, but there's a big jump between a 4050 and a 4060, which on a 4070 is not really that impressive. Obviously, the 4080 and 4090 are very performant, but they're very expensive. Can you see my dog? Yeah, he's under my thing. Come here. Come here. He just got a haircut today. Come here. Oh, I don't know if you can see him on camera. He doesn't like where he's standing. He's nervous. Yeah, let me pick him up. He's getting hit by the microphone. He is the coolest guy. Come here. Let me put him down gently. Good boy. Would this run? Oh, easily would run at Elden Ring above 60 FPS. No problems on Elden Ring for this game, for this system. He is so cute. It's pretty quiet. The microphone always makes it worse, by the way. Let me show you something, Dan. Watch this. Silent mode. (73 FPS). I'm on silent mode. The fans are almost off. They always sound louder on microphone. This fan now is running quieter than the fan in my house, and I'm on silent mode, and I'm getting 75 FPS. Is the 8845HS better than the 7840HS? They are the same CPUs, but the 8845HS is better tuned. So if it was the same price, get the 88. Otherwise, they're very similar. I have no idea where I'm going right now, by the way. I've been just using this game to benchmark, so I'm like not able to play it. I know I'm supposed to get medicine, but I've been... More AI. So, oh man, I play silent mode. You can't. So I have that ThinkPad with the 4090. Silent mode is like garbage. It runs so poorly. But a 4060 and 4070, I always play on silent mode. Like always. I throw in a little bit of DLSS, and then I just silent mode it. Right. Did you test battery? I haven't tested battery life yet. No, but I can pretty much tell you it has an 8845HS processor. It has a, what did we say, 60 watt hour battery. You're going to be burning about 5 watts in idle. So you're going to get about 9 hours, 10 hours. YouTube browsing, general browsing, YouTube, you should be getting about 6 to 8 hours on this laptop. Don't hold me to that. We'll do with a review. But that's basically what you should be getting on this laptop, especially at 1080p. You might even get 8 or 9 hours browsing because of the drivers, because of the screen. Does anyone know where I'm going? It's like I turned it down and then I didn't hear her talk. I picked up the medicine up here. Hard choice. Legion 5 after all is addicted heavier, but yeah, Legions are great. The biggest thing about Legions, so there's a lot of reasons why I like Legions. Part of it is warranty. Oh, there, I'm supposed to go over there. Part of it is warranty. Just build quality. Price is a big one for me. But I also find the Lenovo Legion power profile is very good. Look at my review between the G14 Asus and the Lenovo Legion 14-inch Slim. Same laptop, basically. And you'll see that the Legion performs better because of the better performance tuning. Can I not jump on that ladder? I thought that was where I was supposed to go. Not that the G14 is a bad laptop, but the performance on the Legion is just better. Better cooling is a little bit of it, but it's actually more about the CPU tuning. Damn it. I love how I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah, so I guess that's that. I mean, I can just keep playing. By the way, I've been at like 75 locked this whole time. 60 over here in the water, obviously. And I'm on silent mode, so... yeah, I think that's that. That's probably good for the initial unboxing. So step one, when you buy this laptop, uninstall the Nvidia drivers using DDU, because that was a massive headache. DDU is display driver uninstaller. It will kill off the Nvidia drivers. Then you can reinstall the new Nvidia drivers and get rid of those problems. I usually do a fresh Windows install, which you wouldn't run into that problem. But I didn't do it this time, because usually I do my reviews. Actually, I usually do my reviews on stock, which is weird. But I guess it was just an issue, so that's something to be considerate of. That's the laptop, though. I like it. It's actually really nice. I'll have to do my full review of it, which I'll probably take a few days because I have a couple other reviews to do. But this is pretty nice. Like the build quality, kill that off there. It's got nice build quality on it. It's fingerprints on it now, but nice lid there, almost like a Lenovo Legion. They fixed the butt this year for people just showing up now. They fixed the butt this year, so you don't get that big Gundam booty on it, this big plastic piece of turd on it. It's a nice thin little bum on it. When I took out the thermal solution, I had to take this off. It was very easy this year. Last year was a pain in the butt. Decent enough I/O on it, and it just looks nice. The bottom is plastic, but it's got a nice firm plastic like the ThinkBook 16-inch, which I have a review of coming soon. Not the 16p. The 16p is 100% all metal. Yeah. Do you guys want to see something cool before I go? Here, hang out. Don't leave for a sec. I got to show you something cool. I'm just going to start piling laptops. I've done so many laptop reviews that are coming, but I'm just going to start piling laptops, and you guys can see why I am always behind. ThinkPad P1 RTX 4090. Let me go get more laptops. G14 2024. Right there. I'll be back in a sec. I got more laptops. Lenovo Legion 9i. This one is actually already bought off of me by a homie. Oh, there he is, right there. King Maniac. It's his laptop now. What else do we got? What's this laptop? IdeaPad OLED. By the way, I actually have like 4 reviews that I've sent the laptops to people who have bought them off of me. I just haven't done it yet. There's a framework here that I'm reviewing. It's an 11th gen framework, but I'm going to be doing a full upgrade on a video. Maybe I'll do it on a stream. That'd be cool. I'm going to be turning it into AMD. I bought the framework myself, but Framework sent me the motherboard. So Framework is cool. That's really nice. I have more, by the way. Brand new, this is one of my favorite laptops of all time. Brand new ThinkBook right here. 16 plus Chinese import. 8845HS, great laptop. Can't get it in Canada. That sucks. Or in the United States. I'll be right back. got 2 more. This one was upstairs. It was just delivered today. Another one. ThinkBook 16P, brand new laptop from Lenovo. The 16P is basically a professional Legion, is what I call it. It's very similar to the 7i, or the 7 Slim. From last year, I did a review on it, and it basically is a Legion Slim, but it's a ThinkBook. Slightly different performance tuning, slightly better speakers than the Lenovo Legion. Great laptop. That dropped like 5 days ago, and I bought it day one. I was waiting for that one to drop. And in here, my last one is a, oh my God, I'm tired. This is a HP Transcend, HP Omen Transcend, RTX 4060 with an OLED screen and Intel Core Ultra graphics. Haven't even opened it yet. Obviously, I'm doing a 14-inch showdown because that's going to be compared to the G14 here on stream. I have another laptop, but I can't find it. Where are you? Anyways, I bought an MSI. I bought an MSI 14-inch Stealth. I don't know where it went. This is how many laptops I have. So I have a video where I'm going to be doing a comparison between the HP Omen 14-inch, the G14 14-inch, which is down here, and also the MSI 14-inch. So I have a 14-inch laptop showing coming down. I bought all of these. Yes, I've bought all these laptops. Banana. Now you know why I'm broke, and I like to keep myself objective. Lenovo does send me stuff, by the way. I'm not like saying they don't, but they definitely don't send me all these. I bought all of these on my own. I sell them when I'm done, so it's not like I have to like just have $25,000 worth of laptops here. Yeah. That's it. This is what's coming from my channel. I have a bunch of that I've already recorded. The MSI is upstairs. He just delivered it. The UPS guy just delivered it like 3 hours ago. It's in my living room. So I have that as well coming. I think this is all the laptops I have right now. So what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Comparative reviews between a bunch of them too. So we're going to have lots of stuff coming if you are curious. Once I'm going to be doing dedicated reviews for all of them, usually a gaming test video on all of them, and then I have some comparison stuff. I'm going to be doing that nice 14-inch gaming laptop showdown with 3 different laptops. Let me answer some questions here. Pushcar Chopra says, are you going to be buying the E16 ThinkPad? Yes, but I'm waiting for it to go on sale. It's actually just appeared on the Canadian Lenovo website, but I am going to buy it for a review. I actually really liked it. Were you still shilling framework laptops for us? No, I actually only shilled it for like, I don't know, like 30 seconds or so. Oh yeah, I also have the framework over there. These are all, any other questions there? Which Ali store? Okay, give me a second here. I can't remember. I think it's on my computer. Let's see here. Ali. Oh, I just disconnected my screen by accident. Well, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. AliExpress. I think it's called like Lenovo True Life Store. That might be wrong. Don't take that at face value yet. AliExpress. My chat just got killed. Hopefully I'm not missing stuff. So Omen versus G14 versus the MSI, oh God, what is it called? MSI Stealth 14-inch. That's going to be the 14-inch showdown. I have data from my Legion, but it's old. ThinkBook 14 Plus. Someone's asking me which Ali store I bought. Here it is. Lenovo Choice Store. Sorry, MS Laptop Choice Store. Can you see that? In the corner there? It's such a ghetto way of doing it. MS Laptop Flagship Store. I have no affiliation with them, but I have bought 3 Lenovo laptops off of them. I have the Shaoshin 14-inch or IdeaPad Pro 4 IdeaPad Pro 5 that I sent to Bernsey here. He bought it off of me. I have the 16-inch ThinkBook, which is the bottom one, and I have a 14-inch coming as well, a 14 Plus It's called the ThinkBook 14 Plus, and that one has an Oculink cable in it. So Gamers Generation who's here knows about Oculink. Oculink is like an eGPU solution that uses way more bandwidth than things. They're usually down to send free stuff if you have a following. AliExpress? That vanished very fast, and I can't get the chat back for some reason. Yeah, I can definitely contact them. Be like, yo, send me more laptops. I'll review them and I'll tell you guys who they are. I mean, I just gave them free advertisement, so there you go. Maybe I'll tell them, be like, watch my stream. Yeah, AliExpress is good. I've had no issues with them recently. I did have an NVMe that didn't. There's the chat. I did have an NVMe that didn't show up from Ali, from like Cute's Living Store, which apparently is very highly rated. It did take me 30 days to get my refund, but I got my refund. So AliExpress is good, man. They're like eBay of the East now. Like, they're actually really good. You just have to, you gotta be realistic with like wait times. I mean, they're sending stuff from other countries. They don't often use the fast. Some of them use the fastest, and you can get your stuff like the next week. But sometimes they do free shipping, and the free shipping takes 2 weeks. It's not, it is what it is, right? You just gotta be, yeah. It comes up to the seller, right? Like, yeah. I also have a really nice Lenovo tablet that I reviewed. Here, you guys can look at me now in my messy background. I have a Lenovo tablet that I reviewed. I also sold that to someone on Discord. It's called the Shaoshin Pad 2. Look at my messy background. It's just coffees on coffees on coffees. Yeah, that's a really nice tablet. It has a Snapdragon 870. And it was like, the price was stupid. I don't know, it was like $250 or something. Crazy. If there will be a Ryzen 8955HX or 9955HX, well, like, hell yes. Aki, the moment the new AMD stuff drops, I will find a laptop that has it and review it. By the way, I was like the first person to review Core Ultra GPU laptops, like on YouTube. I'm always fast because I buy stuff. I don't always wait for reviews. Not hating on other people. A lot of people can't do that. But I had the IdeaPad 5 16-inch with the 125H, and I think I was the first English review in the world of that laptop, of that CPU. There was Chinese reviews before, but that's not fair. I often review stuff first, because I buy it. If the company can't send it to me in time, Lenovo does send me stuff from time to time, but usually they contact me. They're like, "Hey, Bo, we have." They contacted me the other day, and they're like, "We have a Yoga 9i to review," and I was like, "If only you knew I reviewed it 3 weeks ago, or like a month ago." So yeah, they often they're too slow. They sent me the Lenovo Legion 7i, which my review is up, and the 5i Pro, and they got them out fast to me because they know that I have a big Legion following. They got those to me quick, and those went up, and those videos are doing really well. Awesome laptops. So it's just they don't necessarily know what I'm reviewing because like I have a pile of laptops, right? So Brinzy, I'm not just doing a percent review run. I'm doing a poverty and bankruptcy run, speed run. Is that an air duster from Staples? It's from Memory Express, but yeah, does stuff. Every time I go to Memory Express, I get like stuff on sale or price match. And they're really good for that. Memory Express is a Canadian seller, but I always feel bad because they're a business. They got to make money. So I always buy like high margin stuff like that and like screen cleaners every time I go because I'm like, I just got this CPU for like under their selling cost. And they're a business. I'm not here to like rip people off. So I always buy like high margin stuff, like whatever, make them some money. Yeah, Staples has those too. Yeah, they do. They're super expensive in Canada. At Staples, these are like $60 for 4 or something. Not even 3 packs. And Memory Express has them for way cheaper. Man, yeah. PTM. You can, Nisha. I think you can try importing it. So the PTM7950, I import from China. The website is called here. Can I type in here? This is gonna be my other account. eBay. No. eBuy 7. That Bo Earns is me. That's where I buy my PTM 7950. Takes a while to arrive. The website is weird. It's like a wholesaler. And if you buy it in big slabs like that, you pay more, but you get a better deal. So, yeah, man, I always try to like, Bourbon Anna's talking about screen size. I love 14-inch laptops and 13-inch laptops for portability, but I always revert to 16-inch. That's why I always do Legions, because they're like large. But now I'm doing the ThinkPad's buried. It's at the bottom. I'm doing that 16-inch ThinkPad. I have so much this is like my fourth can. I go through it a lot though, because I do like reviews and I take the dust off and stuff. Screen protector, whatever. I bought some LEDs because I bought something off of them yesterday. Can't remember what I bought. Oh, a CPU cooler, and I felt bad. It was also same price, so I bought like a RGB hub. Whatever. Nisha, you don't have eBuy7, eh? That sucks. Yeah. There might be a reseller, maybe, that you can get it. It's unfortunate. PTM7950 is so good. I could find the Firefly. AMD T16 has a horrible resolution, like screen resolution. The T16s normally also come with an OLED offering, like a 1600p or maybe even higher OLED offering. But so here's the thing. If you buy Lenovo stuff in general, the day they come out, they're usually like slightly more expensive, so you can always wait for sales. But they also don't offer all of the offerings right away. So they'll come out with like a Legion and they'll offer like 3 of the 5 SKUs. ThinkPads will come out and they won't even have like one of the screen offerings. Excuse me. And then like maybe, I don't know, a month later, the OLED will pop up or something. So it can be a bit of a pain. Oh, it's the 4K OLED. I'm surprised they don't have the 1600p OLED offering, but yeah, I'm going to head out to Paul. So thanks guys for joining in. That was the first like live thing. And we troubleshooted. We took off a thermal solution, didn't break the laptop, and we troubleshooted Jensen's hot mess that are called Nvidia drivers. Don't kill me, Jensen. When the future comes, I'll be part of your network of robots. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Adios.